Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Nobody take no cornbread from me.
All right. Yeah, people. Hey, what's going on, people? How you doing? My name is Tim Black. Welcome to the Tim Black Show. What is going on? It is Friday, guys. Let me go and make sure people on YouTube can hear me. Just a quick announcement, though. Facebook gave me an error when we tried to start the show on Facebook, and it said it was a Facebook error saying they're having trouble. Maybe they're having trouble with all their live streams right now. So, I don't know, share this. Let people know the show is on YouTube, and they need to come over to YouTube. All right, guys. Let's go make sure YouTube can hear me, though. Because you never really know. Brian Crosby said video and audio is good. What's up, Kim? What's up, Karen? What's up, Austin? What's up, Ryan? What's up, Schultze and Mr. Savvy? Marcus, the pants. BCM Falls, Joe Famous. What's up, guys? Sean, what's up, man? How you doing, Sean? Julie Love, and Chris Ward, Giovanna, what's up, sis? Black Faye 508, smash the like button. I love it. Chemo Andrews, let me hear you, Wolfpack. I love it, man. Look at all this energy. Tatiana Harris, 99 Nation Videos, and Just Lisa. Austin Zappas. All right, so we got a good crowd on YouTube, man. What's up, YouTube people? How y'all feeling? Chris War. What is it good for? B4. DW. Kathleen McCormick, how you doing, Kathleen? Guys, my people, what is up? Johnson. What's going on, Johnsons? We're all Johnson, man. Check this out, guys. This is, I wonder what's up with Facebook. I bet it comes up right in the middle of this. It's up now, Tim. Hola, Samantha and Bud Rowland. Yeah. Spread the word, guys. We got an announcement about the campaign. You guys hear about this? You guys hear about what happened? Yeah. People starting to file in, man. We're going to have to dig into it. Yeah. I tell you, things are shaking up, aren't they? Things are shaking up. All right, so I put out a video just a few minutes ago. I decided, hey, I got a computer, and I got my setup is all straight. Let me just go ahead and announce it early. You guys ready? Beto O'Rourke dropped out. He dropped out. Stop crying. You cut out that crying. I know it hurts you. To your soul, like, oh no, not Beto. All two of you that are crying. Stop. Ain't nobody crying for Beto O'Rourke dropping out. In fact, we're looking for more people to drop out, aren't we, ladies and gentlemen? Come on, Wolfpack. We need more people to volunteer to go do something else besides clog up the middle. Come on now. Come on. So Beto O'Rourke, now look, guys, Beto O'Rourke took a lot of bites at the apple. There wasn't even any apple left. He took so many bites at it. I mean, how many times can you reinvent yourself? It's like that old saying, no matter where you go, there you are. Right? No matter where you go. I don't know why Beto ran to begin with. I'm serious. I don't understand it. Like, look, don't get me wrong. I understand politics. I understand people being driven to service. Is that really what it was? What did Beto... Look, I don't understand strategically why Beto O'Rourke felt now was a good time. And I know I read the thing, I'm just born to be in it. I'm just born to be in it. I am born to be in it. I am a proud son of El Paso, Texas, where we believe that I should climb up on top of this table and I should move my arms. But why run in 2020? Why run for the nomination? Listen, Beto had already become very popular, challenging Ted Cruz. Not many people can become popular losing. He lost to Ted Cruz, a fundamentally disliked individual character in our public eye in the Senate. And because he didn't get blown out, people was like, okay, Beto, okay, cool. And you take the cachet that you earned and you bet it all on a Democratic primary with about 25 other people, right? All several of them a lot more interesting, a lot more accomplished, a lot more famous, a lot more solidified than you. I don't get it. I just don't understand who gave the guy this advice. It was a stinker from the door. It was a stinker from the gate. The only person who's restarted their campaign more times than Beto O'Rourke is Cory Booker. And Cory Booker's on his last leg too. So I asked a couple questions here, guys. One of them is, who's next? The other one is, why? Who's next and why? Beto O'Rourke. Remember when he was it wasn't so long ago, he was on the cover of Vanity Fair. He was posing like he was Ronald Reagan. They put him in this spread, and it's like, okay, look at this guy, okay? He'd given a couple of speeches. A couple of people, people liked him. He was on the couch with Oprah Winfrey. Everybody was singing him praises. Said he was the second coming of JFK or RFK or Obama or something. Right? That's what they were doing. Like, just go back 4 months. 4 months ago, that's all anybody was talking about, Beto O'Rourke, and how great he was, and how charismatic he was, and how tall he was, and how tall, yeah. But I want you to think long and hard. I want you to think about this. What did Beto O'Rourke stand for? Nothing. Wrong. Well, I stood for every member of El Paso, every citizen of this country, of this great nation, on a hill, this shining beacon of light. I have no idea what I stand for. I don't know. Nothing. If you want a formless, uncommitted, non-committal, tall guy with the speaking skills of William Shatner and Keanu Reeves fused together in a stork-like body, if that's what you're looking for, then that was your guy. But I'm here to ask you guys, and I want to know, what was it about Beto O'Rourke? Beto O'Rourke was a fabrication. He was a media abomination. He was created by the folks at MSNBC and CNN. That's who he is. That's who he was. That's not enough to win an election. That's enough to ruin your career, is what it is. Because one thing about the media, they love to build you up, and they love to tear you down, baby. I said they love to build you up, and they love to tear you down. I knew Beto O'Rourke was done about a month ago, and I think he knew it too. I think he knew it. I know he was like looking at the phone like, maybe I should call Tim Black up and get some campaign advice. I thought he was done a month ago, but then, and this is going to sound really bad, guys. What the hell? And then there was a shooting. There was a massacre. People were gunned down in El Paso, Texas. Devastating occurrence. Death, destruction, mayhem. Cowardly bastard opens fire on innocent folks. And just in time to save Beto O'Rourke's candidacy. For a little while. You know, if it takes people getting killed, murdered in cold blood for you to have any relevancy, that's a good indicator that you should not be in the race. But instead of saying, you know what, this may not be good, Beto O'Rourke tried to take it and use it to his benefit. He started to talk about guns more. He had the whole thing about the buyback, the mandatory gun buyback. That went over great. And people were like, oh, yeah, this is good. We want to get rid of guns. Wasn't well thought out, I don't believe. How we're going to translate that into a way. You got to sell it. It can't just be, I want to be popular, I don't have nothing else. You have to sell that thing. His whole candidacy should have been built on that. But the fact he came to it late. Like the shooting in El Paso wasn't our first shooting. Come on, guys. It wasn't our first rodeo, Beto. Beto O'Rourke was capitalizing off of tragedy. And this is what a lot of politicians do it. Don't get me wrong. He's not the first politician to use tragedy to his benefit. George W. Bush used 9/11 to his benefit. He never would have had a second term if it weren't for the World Trade Center. He should have never had a second term. Then he took us to war to solidify that second term. So this is what they do, guys. My point is, Beto O'Rourke was done over a month ago. He's only stayed relevant because of death. Now, to this day, besides the gun thing that he adopted late, what did he stand for? What is this thing? Come on now. All candidates, I tell you, all candidates got to have a thing that is theirs. They have to own it. It has to be a policy or something that's theirs. Let's go down the list, man. Let's go down the list, right? Bernie Sanders, Medicare for all. It's got a couple things, but Medicare for all to me seems to be the dominant. And maybe that's because 70% of Americans want it. They want universal health care. They want everyone covered. They want a universal package. So it's a popular policy, the most popular. And just so happens, the biggest issue of all Democrats, of the Democrats, of the voting base, the number one issue. So it's pretty smart. Then we have what? We have Andrew Yang, UBI, right? UBI, Universal Basic Income. His version of it, the Freedom Dividend. Call it what you want, but that's his lane. He owns that. That's him. Then we have Tulsi Gabbard. Ending the wars. Ending regime change wars. Right? I know the true cost of war. Every morning, I'd get up, I'd look at the list. Come on, guys, you know it. I know it. We all know it. That's her lane. Foreign policy. War. Tulsi Gabbard. These things are important. You got to have a signature policy. Marianne Williamson. Reparations. Reparations. The more you sell your policy, that thing that you're about, the better chance you have of resonating with people. They ain't all got to like you, but they all have to know what you stand for. They got to know, oh, there goes my, there goes my Medicare for All guy. There goes my ending war, my peace candidate, or my foreign policy person. There goes my UBI guy. Don't give me $1,000. What did Beto have? Speeches. And this is the reason why I'm not excited about Elizabeth Warren. What does Elizabeth Warren have? Oh, gee willikers, Tim Black, I've just taken a bunch of Bernie stuff and I've redone it. Done a paper mache of Bernie Sanders. I was looking at a meme the other day and it said that Elizabeth Warren just found out she's 2% Bernie Sanders. Woo! But you get what I'm saying? So if you don't have a signature policy, you don't have something to hang your hat on. If there's not something that the people know you as or for, what are you doing? You are wasting time. Beto O'Rourke would have been better served if he had saved his cachet, political capital that he had gained losing to Ted Cruz, defying all odds, and even being considered or looked at favorably after losing to someone we can't stand collectively. He wasted it with hubris and the audacity to run for president for no reason at all, no good reason at all, no reason at all, other than America's so divided. I believe that we're too divided, and that's not a reason. Why do we need you, though? What do you got? What are you different? What makes you what? You're tall? No. No. All right, so and we can go down the list of all the people that don't have those things. And the reason why they don't have a solid policy, prescription, something to hang their hat on. And I can make a case for every one of those people to get the hell out now. Okay, so Beto O'Rourke, he's out of there. He's gone. Who should go with him? Who should Beto reserve a seat on the gone fishing bus or the gone fishing plane? Who should go with Beto O'Rourke? Come on, guys, talk to me. First off, the very easy, low-hanging fruit, Michael Bennett. A lot of you didn't even know Michael Bennett was still in it. Who? I rest my case, Johnson. Some of you are going, who the hell is Michael Bennett? I rest my case. John Delaney. John Delaney is burning money. Why is John Delaney in this thing? What good reason does John Delaney have for Dude, just send money to give it to an old folks home or something, dude. You have no reason to be in this, John Delaney. Just give money. If you want to waste money, there's better ways to waste money. There are things you can waste your money on where you actually help people. You're helping no one. You're a scary-looking clown. You're like an OCD. I don't know why he's in it. There's more people. Look, I got someone's name that I don't think a lot of you are going to come up with. I think Kamala Harris needs to drop out. Oh, yeah, she's done, Johnson. Oh, God, get it out of here. Woo! Bury them. Just get it out. Woo. Take it outside. It's over. It's over. It's done. She's done. There's no coming back. It's over. You're gone. It's out of here. All Kamala Harris can do at this point, someone talk to Kamala Harris and tell her it's over. All Kamala Harris can do at this point is lose her seat in the Senate. That's all she can do right now. There is nothing positive going to come out of it. You cannot put the toothpaste back in the tube. Somebody tell her I said it. Hey, look, it's not had nothing to do with how I feel about you personally or how I feel about you even politically. It just has to do with reality. And reality dictates that you are done, sister. You are done. You are out of there. Go home, listen to some Tupac or some Fife records, some Fife Dog records, or whatever you like to do. It's a wrap for Kamala Harris. She is just hurting herself. Another person I think who's done, who doesn't realize they're done, Amy Klobuchar's done. Yeah, some people think that she has an opportunity. She doesn't. She doesn't. I don't think the Democratic Party's dumb enough to try to run Hillary in a shorter, less progressive, if possible, version. I mean, the only thing Hillary didn't have going against her is she wasn't a prosecutor. Amy Klobuchar's Hillary Clinton with orange jumpsuits on her hands. You know, in her past. This is not good. Amy Klobuchar can do nothing at this point. She needs to go out now because she's not on a downturn. Go out in an upturn. Relatively upturn. If you were polling at 2% like Amy Klobuchar for 3 months, now that you're polling at 4%, you might get a little hit of yourself. You might start thinking you got a shot, but you don't. It's attrition. You're absorbing people from people who left. But you are not surging. Bill Maher may like you, but the rest of us don't. And what's going to happen is you're going to stay in just long enough to go, and what's going to happen is you're going to jeopardize your seat in Minnesota is what's going to happen. And I'm sure Al Franken are going, well, golly gee, wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be nice? Just based on how great you treated me. Remember, Minnesota is the state where overwhelmingly they voted for Bernie Sanders, but Al Franken and Amy Klobuchar decided, screw the people. Let's go with Hillary anyway. Yeah, let's give all our delegates to the candidate our people didn't choose. Yeah. Can you really imagine Amy Klobuchar going up against Trump? Remember, that's what they're fighting to do. They're fighting to go up against Trump. Master of ceremonies. Now, I got Bernie. Bernie knows how to get grouchy and get in your face, and he won't back down. Of these people that are left, who has that? Who's got it? I think Tulsi Gabbard has proven that she could fight in the ring with Donald Trump. I think she's proven it. She's shown it. She got a couple cadavers on her wall. She got a couple of stuffed trophies. Tim Ryan and Kamala Harris. So I'm sure there's other people that you can come up with that you believe should drop out. It's not just Beto O'Rourke. I think Beto O'Rourke did the right thing. Salvage what you can of your reputation. It's not going your way, and be smart about it. Also, who left earlier this week, or last week I should say, Tim Ryan dropped out. Once again, he should have already done so. I don't know what he was doing still in it. Most people I know don't know who he is, and those who did know thought he already dropped out, Johnson. That's what they thought. He was still in it. What's he doing? What's wrong with him? So, yeah. So there you go, guys. And look. This is just reality talking. They don't have to like it, but it's the truth. And you don't have to go home, but you got to get the hell out of here. You cannot stay where you're not wanted. You can only hurt yourself. These people I thought Kirsten Gillibrand got out at the right time. She recognized that she was wasting her time, voters' time, and hurting herself and her reputation. She got out. That's smart. Sometimes when you lose, you win. You understand? Sometimes it's better to lose quick. People will tell you that. Losing quick makes sense. The longer it takes for you to accept that you lost, you lose more. And I think that's the case here with Beto O'Rourke. In fact, this is the best move Beto made since he announced he was running. Now, there are people that I think should go, but I know they won't. Now, this person I want to talk about next, Mayor Pete Buttigieg. I just got through watching a video, and I tweeted it out because I thought it was so hysterical. Pete Buttigieg was making the case why this race is really a two-person race. And, of course, since he is so cocky, he thinks he's one of those two people. Yeah, this is the same guy polling at 2% with black voters. 80% of the country can't pronounce his name. 40% of the country doesn't know who he is. We're 3 months away from Iowa or whatever, and this guy's saying it's really a two-person race between him and Elizabeth Warren. Talk about a delusional individual. I don't understand. What's this guy been eating? Right? What kind of methamphetamine is he take? What type of opiate? What form of? What is this? What are you consuming? What kind of alcohol is that exactly, sir? What? I don't know how you come up to these conclusions, but that's Pete Buttigieg. And people are not telling him. No one's telling him the truth. Chasten, get your boy. Holler at your man, Chasten. Chasten, sit your man down and tell him. No, not you. What are you thinking? This is the audacity of these Democratic candidates. There is no way. Like, this guy got to 10% in a poll, on one poll, and now he says the race is down to me, Elizabeth Warren. I tell you guys, I hope he gets Kamala Harris in the next debate. Yeah, I'm hoping that a wrecking ball hits him in the next debate called Tulsi Gabbard or Bernie Sanders. Andrew Yang, I need you to put on your fighting skills. Go after this guy. And I think he was just saying it because he knew that Beto was dropping out, so he wanted to do a little victory lap and make fun, sort of, and brag about himself. I don't know what he was thinking, but I want him to be Kamala Harris. And then you just watch somebody steal that. I like Kamala Harris or Kamala. See, I think Kamala Harris is pretty good, but Kamala's good too. I like both of them. You know, where she gets destroyed in a debate and then she drops 10 points immediately, never coming back, and sayonara. But Pete actually believes that he is in it, that he is more popular and on a better streak and has a better, clearer pathway than Bernie and Joe Biden, and I don't know what's going on. I'm surprised he's in the top 4. You know, other than the people that want to be polite, what does Pete stand for? I mean, there's people like, I want to prove that I like gay people. I want to prove I'm not a bigot. Okay, cool. That's it. That's not going to win an election. It just won't. I'm sorry. It's not enough. I'm not even sorry about it. It's just reality. You're not going to win an election on people that don't want to be. Look, first of all, and a lot of people have been talking about this, and I want you to hear. I want everybody to hear me real clear. Wolfpack, make sure people hear this. Share this part. This is so important. I saw that my friend Mike Figueredo did a video about this because he saw it and I saw it. I talked about it last week. the Humanist Report. He did a video. He said people were blaming black people, saying the reason why Pete's not doing better is because black people don't want to support a gay candidate. And people were saying basically that black people are homophobic. Okay, couple things here we need to unpack real quick. First of all, the reason why people were saying that in those polls, because they don't think America's ready. They kept saying, I don't think America's ready for a gay candidate. And they were also saying, I don't want to know about his sexual orientation. We don't care. We don't want to know about it. We don't want to hear about it. We don't care. We don't want to know. But they take that and say that means they're homophobic because they don't care about who you sleep with. I know I don't care who you sleep with. You ain't sleeping with me, so who cares what you do? How does that make you homophobic? But the big kicker of all of this is they want to make black folks seem homophobic because they won't vote for Pete Buttigieg. Well, I can make the Democratic Party seem racist because more white people voted for Donald Trump than voted for Obama. Come on, the Democrats never win the white vote. So when you ran the first black president, only like 40% of white people voted for him. I wonder how many white people voted for Donald Trump. Oh, not Donald Trump, I'm sorry. Whoever that guy was. John McCain or Mitt Romney or whatever. I mean, can you imagine that? I said Trump. I didn't mean Trump. He hadn't come to power yet. But you get what I'm saying? But no one says all the white people in the Democratic Party are racist, but they have no problem saying that all the black people are racist because they won't vote for Pete. They don't know who Pete is. They can't pronounce his name, and he has done nothing. He's done nothing. He's done less than Cory Booker. They also don't support the hell out of Cory Booker either. Look at Cory Booker. He's a black guy. I don't know if you noticed or not, but he's black. And black people don't really support him that much. What is that? So now we're racist against our own, against black people. Blacks are racist against blacks because they don't want to support Cory Booker. Maybe it's because it's not really, he just not hitting the chord with them. He's not impressing people. Well, hey, listen, Tim Black. My name is Cory Booker, and I've been the mayor of Newark, okay? And I'm a vegan. And I feel like this is deja vu. And Erykah Badu and Paula Abdul. I am Spartacus. And I just believe we've got to do a better job of loving one another. Like, black people that's not resonating? Wow, get out of here. I don't know what's wrong with us. But see, whenever you don't like somebody, they want to make it about something that takes the ownership off of the person. Right? They want to take it off Pete. Maybe just because he talks like a mechanical man. He uses 100 words when 6 will do. Hey, what time is it, Pete? Well, if you look at your device on your wrist and the actual chronograph of the depending on the structure of the wrist element of the wrist tool of the mechanism, which tells the ability to transverse the active time. It can be depending on what location you are, the Central Time Zone, Pacific Time Zone, the Eastern Time Zone, the Mountain Time, the equator lining up with the. What time is it, mofo? Forget it. I figured it out. I had somebody else. Shit. Time with you. Shorty. But instead of making it about Pete, they make it about us. And I think it's a travesty. It's disrespectful as hell. No one says, hey, why does the Democratic Party, why didn't they vote for Obama? No, nobody called them racist. One for black people voting en masse, there wouldn't have been an Obama presidency. It wasn't white people that got him over. So if you ask me, I think you got it wrong. But anyway, back to this whole thing. So Pete's bragging. He's talking crap. He's the top two. He's in top two. I think it's no one shut him down. Someone needs to shut that down. Someone needs to have a heart-to-heart with him. I know it's not going to be these people that have been fawning over him. Oh, Peto. Oh. You know, what about Juan Castillo? Julian, I'm sorry, Julian Castillo. Why is no one calling people racist for not voting for Julian? Look at him. He's my brown brother. My brown brother. You know, no one's saying no one's voting for Julian. So everybody must be, you know, whatever the word is. What's the word for it? Racist against Latinos or whatever, right? Right? No one says it. No one says it. It's just Pete. And see, that's what I don't like. I don't like it because it's already happening. No one said white people were racist because they didn't vote for Obama. Well, they did. I'm sorry, they did. But you know, not in the Democratic Party. They said the Republicans were racist, but not the Democrats. Even though he didn't win the white vote, and the Democrats, a lot of them said, oh, they was Pumas. They didn't vote. They voted for Hillary, and then they went and voted for McCain. All right? So more people, more white people went out and voted for McCain to spite Obama. Right? But no one gets to say that you're not voting for Julian Castro because he is a Latino brother. But Pete, they go right to it all because of his orientation. And this survey conducted was done by a staff. Oh, they wouldn't have an ulterior motive, Johnson. Where's the ulterior motive, Johnson? And it sounded like when they were asking black people, like, and they were in South Carolina, like, excuse me, Leroy, we're just wondering, do you have a problem with Pete liking guys? Like Leroy, like, what? Man, who you talking to, man? Who you talking to? No. We just want to know if he like me. I don't go that way. You know. I got a woman, man. I've got child support. I got 3 kids. Got my face, man. Got my face. Where the tacos at? Thought you gonna have tacos up in here. Where Drake at? I thought you said you had some Drake tickets. Thought you had some Drake tickets you was giving away. Oh, no, we don't. We just want to know. We just had a few questions. We wanted to ask about. Get that out my face. Get it out my face. Get. Peel out. But anyway, that's the update on the race so far. Look, Bernie Sanders, New Hampshire poll, showing Biden dropping like a lead balloon, and Bernie on the upswing. Elizabeth Warren and Bernie. That's who this race is coming down to. And I think at the end of the day, is the DNC does their best to try to make Elizabeth Warren something she isn't. Like at the end of the day, voters are going to want to go with the original, not a carbon copy. Shout out to Nina Turner, State Senator Nina Turner. That's just what's going to happen. And we'll see. We'll see. I tell you, man. It's crazy, isn't it, Johnson? It's crazy. Well, look, guys, I'm going to go ahead and open up our phone lines. Let me put the phone number up on the screen for people so they know what number to call into because we've changed it a couple times or we switch back and forth. The phone number is 319-527-6212. 319-527-6212. Let you guys start calling in now, getting in the queue. And we'll be right back with that. By popular demand, Johnson is here. I have new Johnson designs in my shop. If you want to pick them up, check them out. They are hilarious. They are revolutionary. And they're all Johnson. You're going to love them, man. Check them out. Both parties suck, Johnson. It's one of my favorites. Independent media only, Johnson. Keep it real. We are all Johnson. We are. We're one big community, guys. Go check it out. Independent media only. Johnson's in the house. Both parties suck, Johnson. We are here. They got a special going on right now. Free shipping. Get it today. Wolfpack. And we are back, guys. Thank you so much. Check this out, people. We are ready to take phone calls. 527-6212 is the phone number. I'm going to go ahead and start now. Hey, that was quick. Okay. We're going to go with 470. Hold tight, 470. Let's make sure that the settings are right. 470, you're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Happy Freedom Friday.
470.
What's going on? This is. Hello. Hello, can you hear me?
Okay. That's what I was thinking. Hold tight. Is that Dave?
Yeah.
Yeah, hold tight, Dave. Let me make sure people can hear you. Hold tight, brother.
All right, that's what's up.
Yeah, because I want to make sure, because you know how it is, man. Hey, guys, Can you hear my caller?
Yeah, I do.
Hey, guys, can you hear my caller, Dave, man? My caller, Dave, my moderator, Dave. He's good.
What's
all right.
up?
Yeah, good. So, all right, Dave, you got the floor, man. Thank you for calling in, brother.
Yeah. Well, first thing I want to do is congratulate you on Politicon. Thank you for not going up there and holding back and having an honest conversation. Anything less than an honest conversation is just propaganda.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for that. So, look, I wasn't sure what I was even going to call about, and then I got to thinking about it, and now I have too much to talk about, so I had to choose. I guess first I just wanted to say that if you're dumping staff, it's time to drop out. If Kamala's dumping staff, it's time to leave. Staying in just shows that, I don't know, there's nothing good about it. It just shows she's not in it for the right thing. And the fact that Biden doesn't have money and starts to having to beg billionaires for money, he should drop out. If you're the front runner and you can't come up with enough money to run your campaign, it's because the people aren't really with you. And I really wanted to, I guess I wanted to call about the difference between Bernie and Warren. And, I guess Warren's doing okay. She's doing okay in polls. But I wanted to point out something. She came out with her Medicare for All bill today. And, of course, it's second rate compared to Bernie. I mean, there were a lot of good things in it, but the main thing that I happened to notice, I was reading through it all, and she's going to fund it by putting the cost of health care on businesses. Since they're already paying it, she wants to put that cost and leave it on them, which is really the main point of Medicare for All is to lower the cost and provide health care to everybody. But one of the main top points is to take the cost of health care off of businesses in the first place. So then you free up a lot of money for higher wages, expanding businesses. And, of course, if you don't have to worry about health care, it'd be easier to start a business. So right there was my nope for her Medicare for All policy. I tried to be objective, but when I came across that, that's really, that's if the cost of health care is still on businesses, that's one of the main problems with health care is businesses are having to deal with it. And but as far as look, man, I guess I'm biased, Tim. I think a lot of us are. What Bernie did in 2016 was amazing. And, he's been in politics for 30 years, man. He writes all his own legislation. He has no legislative equal. Nobody. When he's gone, we're not going to find anyone like him again. And it's not just his legislation. It's not just the fact that he's been fighting for the same things for so long. It's how he's going to get it done. And there's no one like him. I don't care if you're the Yang gang. Andrew Yang's not going to be the type of president Bernie Sanders is. Tulsi Gabbard's not going to be the kind of president Bernie Sanders is. Nobody is. I want you to think about what he's saying he's going to do if he's elected. I really want everybody to think about what I'm about to say. He is saying that, and this is where Obama went wrong. He had the whole country behind him. He had Republicans voting for him. He had complete control of the House, the Senate, and the presidency. And what he didn't do was rely on the people after he was elected. That's why he had so much trouble. He couldn't get, nothing. He had to settle for a Republican health care plan with complete control of the entire U.S. government. That is a obsolete failure. But this is the difference. When Bernie is elected president, it will be like nothing any of you have ever seen before. Think about what he's saying. He will have rallies outside Mitch McConnell's office. Imagine 50,000 people outside Mitch McConnell's office. Nobody has ever done that before. Not in our lifetimes.
Right.
Not since Martin Luther King was around. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Imagine 250,000 people at the White House because he organizes them. And this is the difference between him and all the other candidates. He's not fucking around. And, man, I could just go on forever. You're not going to find anyone else like him, ever. When you're 80 years old and almost dead, maybe. And so I really hope people think about who Bernie really is and just how pissed off and motivated he is to change this. And that's it, man. I appreciate the time, Tim.
Hey, thank you, Dave, for the phone call, brother. I appreciate you, man. Yeah, man, there's a lot of passion, man. I love it. And, Dave's got a good point there. A lot of people, they underestimate what Bernie brings to the table. I get it all the time from my people, my ADOS people, my American descendants of slavery, who say that Bernie doesn't support reparations. Now, he did say publicly that he does support H.R. 40, which is the study of reparations. But what they don't understand is why I would support a candidate who says, who hasn't said, hey, I'm gonna cut the check, and they don't get it. And Bernie is the best candidate we have running for making lives better for vast amounts of people, including the black community. That's the person out of everybody else you're looking at who has the best shot of doing that. He's going to make things better for black folks. And I'm sorry he's not MLK. He's not MLK. I'm sorry he's not more I'm sorry he's not saying, hey, I'm going to cut a check for black folks, for the descendants of slavery. I'm sorry he's not saying that. But Bernie has the better policies that will impact us in a positive way than the other candidates. You don't want Kamala. You don't want Joe Biden. You don't look. I'm looking at what we have and the options that we have, not what I wish we had. You staying home, you say, well, it can't get much worse. Do you understand what Trump has been doing? He's talking about these unemployment numbers that are garbage. He's talking about what he's done for HBCUs. Really? HBCUs are still hurting. You keep saying, well, I don't have to do this. We don't need to vote. We could just stay home. Donald Trump has cut social programs. When you cut social programs, who does that hurt most? Ooh, I know who. People without money. That happens to be black folks. Trump is cutting services. When you double the cost of government, affordable housing. When you double the cost of that, who does that hurt? Poor people. When you hurt poor people, who you hurt? Primarily black people. If Trump wanted to, Bernie's talking about with an executive order that Trump could do this tomorrow if he wanted to. If he wanted to really get rid of the prison industrial complex, if he really wanted to take our first step, he could take a giant leap and write an executive order tomorrow removing marijuana from the Schedule 1. Bernie said he'd do that. An executive order. He don't need permission. He don't need to get it through the Senate or the House. Why hasn't Trump done it? Do you understand what that would mean for millions of people? So these are just a couple of things that I want to point out to people when they say, and I know there's going to be people that I can't reach. These people are young, they're angry, they're pissed off, they got a lot of reasons to be, and they just want things to change. That's all they know. But I believe, you don't believe it, but I believe that Bernie is the best shot we have this election. That's what I believe. I felt the same way last election. A lot of the people that support the ADOS movement believed it as well. They supported Bernie last election. They've had a change of heart now. I haven't had a change of heart. So I'm going to the next call, guys. Oh, yeah, and thank you for mentioning, Dave, about Kamala Harris. Good point about Kamala. She's cutting staff in New Hampshire. Once you start having to cut staff, it's a wrap. Another great reason to drop out. But you know what? Hey, I want you to stay in. Maybe you will totally implode, and then we won't, because I don't believe anybody who's a prosecutor, and look, in a country that locks up more people than any other developed country in the Western world, I don't believe that a person who did that for a living needs to be president. I don't want to hear your excuses about there was a one time your office solved a case of a rapist or someone who shot a kid or a drive-by. I don't want to hear it, because 90-something% of the cases that these prosecutors deal with are not those cases. They are nonviolent drug offenses where poor people suffer. That's the bulk of the cases that Amy Klobuchar and Kamala Harris dealt with. They did not deal with cases of serial killers. They dealt with nonviolent offenses. And who suffers? People who don't have money for good lawyers. That's poor people. So I don't believe that a prosecutor should be. So when you ask me, Tim, why don't you like Kamala? What do you have against Amy Klobuchar? It's not because they're women. It's not because Kamala is, or Amy, or whatever. It's because of their jobs and their track records. So there you go. But I'm going to the next call. Thank you, Dave. 425, you're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name and what's your comment?
Hey, Tim. How's it going, dude?
I'm
Chad
good.
Here in Seattle.
What's up, man? How you feeling?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. I'm starting to see this race shape up. You know what? Talking about Kamala, did you see that whole thing that she did when she went after those kids of those folks that she put away in jail?
No, I didn't see it, brother.
Yeah, so check this out. She had these kids, and she brought them on as kind of photo optic, asking them, like, hey, ask me any question you want to. And they're all staged questions and everything. But they have no, like, political compass. So she's, like, preying off of these children to be a part of her campaign from the very people that she locked up to begin with. It's pretty crazy.
Damn. That's a Hillary move. That's like a Hillary move. Yeah, brother.
Yeah, that's some cold, stone cold stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, yeah, I saw you on Politico, too. That was pretty cool, man. You got that jab in on Tommy. Yeah, that Lauren maneuver. Yeah, good going, dude. I was like, yeah, stick it to her, because she's all trying to be all fake and plastic and hide behind the trees about it, you know?
Exactly.
But, yeah, you know, the other earlier point that you made here in the whole touchdown on Obama, man, I wish you would have talked about him taking that Flint water and just sipping on it in front of all of his supporters like it was nothing. And then he did it again later, too, as a political stunt. So it just tells us what that guy is all about. You know what I mean? Because they still, right now, don't have clean water. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think he's just taking all this purity tests and putting it into a place where it's more like, yeah, you know what? I did have control over everything, and I did have that button right in front of me, but I just didn't mash it for you guys. Sorry about that. But you know what? Give up all that purity stuff and vote for the person that we're going to tell you to vote for. That's crazy, too. Sorry, man. I'm not going to try to rant at you. I was just trying to have a conversation.
Oh, okay, brother. Well, look, man, I appreciate it. Thank you for the phone call, man. And yeah, man, the Politicon was an interesting experience, brother. I'll tell you, it was something, you know. I still have a couple videos I'm going to put out from it. And, yeah, that was my first one, brother. So, you know, we'll see what happens. I got some other stuff coming up this week that's going to be exciting. I'm going on Fox News on Sunday. So that's something, right? Hey, yeah, it's something. And then next week I'll be on the Hills Rising with Crystal Ball and Sager, and we're gonna kick some butt. I don't know what we're gonna talk about. We're gonna talk about some stuff. So I'm getting out. I'm doing some things, and hopefully it'll bring more people into the Wolfpack, and people know about what we're doing. And I have to have, I'll be, more networking with my colleagues and stuff, and I think that's great for not just for the show, but it's good for the movement. It's good for progressives. It's good for information sharing. So I'm looking forward to it, man. So. Yeah, I'm pumped up about it. Thank you for the phone call. I got a 925 number in the queue, 925. You are live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hello?
Hey, how you doing?
Very well. How are you? This is Austin in California.
What's up, Austin? What's on your mind, brother?
Bro, I just want to tell you I really appreciate what you do. I've been watching you for a long time and watching this most incredible story in history that could not have been imagined. And so I just want to give a shout out to you. And I saw you at Politicon, and good deal. And I think Bernie is the way. I think he's the obvious choice. I think Rational National and Jimmy Dore and Humanist Report and Kyle and everybody who I watch regularly, Redacted Tonight, Lee Camp, you guys are all spot on. And so I appreciate what you do. I think it's going to take a village. It's going to take a world. And it's amazing to see all the international support for Bernie Sanders, people calling in from all over the world, commenting from every country, saying we wish we had one of him. And, I'm a union worker, and I just hit 50 in October. And so I didn't disappear in a Thanos snap of dust. I'm still here, and I'm ready to vote for the right candidate who is going to not only defeat Trump. It's clear Bernie will beat Trump. But I think he'll also bring the kind of policies that Americans and the world needs. Like, we need to completely reset what we're doing in terms of our interventionism. We need to not have our only jobs program be the military, and we need to stop punishing people for trying to grow up and get educated and think freely for themselves. We're just a mess, and we're no leader of the world. We are the tyrannizer of the world, and I'm just tired of it. And I got a couple of kids. One's a iron worker making twice as much money as I do, and that's great. But he works for an industry that is not for the future, so that kills me. And then I have a daughter who is a Marine corporal and a sharpshooter, and she's only 21 years old, and she is just a go-getter. And I'm afraid for her life, though. I trust her implicitly with her instincts and decisions. But we're in a tight mess, and so I just want to again thank you for what you do. I watch you regularly. I love seeing all the people in the comments, and it's a real joy to come somewhere where I am not insane. I'm actually part of the sane group. Like, George Carlin said, it's a big club and you ain't in it. You know what? Our club is bigger. And so I'll stop going on, and I'm watching right now, and I'll hand it back to the panel, Johnson.
My brother, man. Thank you, Austin. I appreciate it, man. And thank you for coming out to Politicon, man, and checking out me and Kyle and the other folks. I hope I'm trying to think who else you could have went out there to see, man. But, being there, man, we appreciate you. And, yeah, you're right. It does, like, that was one of the things about Politicon, brother, I'll tell you, is that there were people that were coming up and they were like, trying to have a conversation. And they were like, is it okay to talk about this or talk about that? Because they were so used to being shut down because they were so to the left that they can't just have regular conversations about politics with just anyone. So there were people that were having long, engaging conversations because they felt safe to do so. They felt like it was acceptable and that it wouldn't cause drama. So I know exactly what you mean when you say, feeling like you got a tribe and people understand you and you can have those conversations, brother. But still, we're both still here, man. Ain't nobody turning to dust. We got stuff to do. Shout out to your kids, man. And I'm sure they both, our worth is beyond paychecks. It's beyond our salaries. You have raised beautiful children who are accomplishing things, and the guidance that you give, it never ends. I know my son, he's 21, and that's still my little boy, and I still, I give him information. Try to let him do his thing, he's got a little girlfriend, young lady. I'm like, okay, but still he knows whenever he needs me, similar to you, I'm there, so it's a beautiful thing, brother. Thank you for calling up. You're right. Bernie gets treated very well across the globe. People look at it very fondly. And you're right. America's responsibility is to end these wars. And as I said before, these folks want to say we had a moral high ground. Not right now, we don't. I don't know the last time we had the moral high ground. I mean, if the moral high ground is something you could buy off eBay like a DVD, that's the only way we can say we own the moral high ground. If the moral high ground was a picture and you hung it on the wall, you could go, we got the moral high ground. You could go adopt a dog and name the dog Moral High Ground. But as of right now, the way we conduct ourselves, the atrocities that we are a part of, how we treat people at home, do you realize we have been ruled as the way that we treat poor people in this country? The way that the United Nations sees us? Come on, guys, we're not seen as a beacon. So get out of your bubble and you start reading about how the rest of the world sees what America does. It's the land of opportunity, yeah? That's because you can rape and pillage the people and take advantage of the poor. It's not because we're the greatest. So in that way, and everyone thinks that's what they're going to be able to do. They're going to become multimillionaires and billionaires in our system. But what happens when you don't become that multimillionaire and that billionaire? You are food. All right, so thank you once again, my brother. And I tend to agree with Bernie. I don't see why in a country with so many people suffering, so many people not having, why would you need to be a billionaire? To have that much money, you had to do some really dirty stuff. All right, I'm going to the next call, guys. 850. 850, you're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment? Hey. Oh, I lost my 850. Okay, I got a 704 number. 704, hold 1 second. 704, you're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, I'm Lily Taylor.
Hey, how you doing? What's on your mind? I hear you.
I'm Lily Taylor. Hi, Lily Taylor here. Grateful to be on your show. Love you. Love the Wolfpack. I've been following you, I guess, since after, about 2016, 2017. Was part of the whole, Bernie debacle when Bernie got cheated. And I'm still a Bernie follower. I joined the Green Party after he lost the nomination and bent over for Hillary Clinton, which was really upsetting to me. I'm also a Tulsi Gabbard fan. But I am, however, like I said, a Green Party member now, registered Green. And that's a good thing for me. I have a lot of problems with the DNC trying to manipulate our elections. There's just so much dissension. You get this, they're going to lose, they're not going to win. We've got to win. I hate that mentality. That mentality of we've got to win. No, you've got to earn my vote. My vote is what matters. The people's vote is what matters. And right now, what we've got is the DNC trying to manipulate our choices into a Warren or a Biden or a Kamala, who, by the way, are none of my choices. If I was going to vote, I would vote ranked choice, and my ranked choice would be Bernie Sanders, Tulsi Gabbard, and Howie Hawkins. So if Bernie Sanders or if Bernie Sanders or Tulsi Gabbard don't make the nomination, then I'm going to be voting Howie Hawkins because, it's just more of the same. We saw Obama bomb 7 countries in 6 years. We saw Bush start it, this constant war. Tulsi Gabbard is amazing because she actually is, on her foreign policy, calling out all the flaws of our country, the flaws of constant war, trillions of dollars spent every single day when we could be having health care or affordable housing. You mentioned affordable housing a lot, which is a very necessary means for a lot of people. I live in North Carolina. That is a huge problem here right now, affordable housing. Nobody's focusing on it, and if they are, they're all talk. What else can I talk about? Tulsi Gabbard and Bernie Sanders are the two main that could fight. You mentioned earlier who's going to be able to get into the arena with Trump and really fight against them. Well, I think that Bernie or Tulsi could do that. Bernie because of his name recognition, and Tulsi because she's just making her way. She's making headlines. She knows how to, stir the pot. But she always has one thing pulling her back, just one thing, just like, oh, well, she's stirring the pot so much. Why is she saying that? She gets on Fox too much, or I don't know, she's a woman. I have no idea, but she has fought like Bernie has fought, like Jill Stein fought in 2016 for clean water, the source of life. Clean water, water is life. She fought with DAPL. Bernie fought with DAPL. Jill Stein fought with DAPL and said, you know what, you cannot come into our territory that we own and put a pipeline here because you don't want it to go into rich people's land. And what? Today, 383,000 gallons leaked from this pipeline. Tulsi just talked about this today. This is a pipeline that they say is safe. They tell us this is safe. We've used the best means possible to make it safe for you to drink. And they're killing our water. And that's what I stand for. People that speak up and say, I want to fight for clean water. I want to listen to people that say, I want to get us out of war. These are the Green Party principles, nonviolence, demilitarizing the military, the police, pardon me, peace and, people being able to make their way and healthcare for all. That's not necessarily a Green Party value, but Green Party does stand for healthcare for all. This is what I want to hear from people, and I don't hear this from Biden. I don't hear this from Kamala. I don't hear this from Warren or Klobuchar or Booker or who the heck ever is running in this race. We have a lot of problems in this country that continue to go on because we continue to allow these people to dictate our lives. We continue to allow the insanity, and I'm sick of it. I'm completely sick of it. I have people constantly saying to me, you are voting right now to reelect Trump. That couldn't be further from the truth. I cannot tell you how far from the truth that could be. I abhor Trump. He is the orange monkey incarnate. I cannot stand him. I voted for Jill Stein in 2016, just like you did, Tim Black. Mm-hmm. And, I cannot stand for this bullcrap. We need to come together and we need to fight for the people that are standing up and saying, I want clean water. I want no war. That's what I want as an American. Because, and I'll go back to Tulsi Gabbard, like she's talking about constantly. In 2001, she said, I joined the military because I wanted to fight against the people that had bombed our country, that had taken over and just made our country. It was an awful day, 9/11. And so she joined in the National Guard or Army Reserves, I can't remember, but anyway. And she said she fought for our country, and then she said she found they were lying to us. The establishment and all of these politicians are lying to us. So we're going after Saddam Hussein. We're going after all the wrong people. Mm-hmm. And what? Trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars spent every single day. That is not a partisan issue. You know what that is? That's a people issue. We are sucking it up. We are allowing it. We are consuming this every single day. We are consuming this bullshit. Every single day we listen to these people on television. I say cut it off. Just listen to the people that talk to you. Don't listen to necessarily what propaganda is out there, but listen to the people. Quit fighting for things that are wrong. Like Biden. I mean, he was with Obama for 8 years. I would never consider voting for him because he stood by Obama. That's not because I don't like Obama. I do actually like Obama because he can convey a message unlike any motherfucker that I've ever seen. But he lacked in conviction. He lacked in that conviction. He bombed 7 countries in 6 years. That is not someone I stand for. And Biden won't do differently. I just don't believe it. Warren, she's been in politics for the woman's ancient. And that's not a bad thing necessarily. But if you look at her policies and what she signed on for and what she hasn't signed on for, what does that mean? That's more of the same. That's what we're getting. More of the same.
More of the same.
I can't cater to these establishment politics any longer.
Well, thank you, Lily.
Cannot.
I hear you, Lily. Thank you so much for the phone call. We appreciate you, and thank you for being a long-time listener of the show. And I agree with you. We don't want more of the same. And those people that want to call you like a purist, like recently Obama, he gave this speech at the Obama Foundation about telling millennials, don't be a purist, don't do this call-out culture, don't do the cancel culture, and there's a kernel of truth in the cancel culture business where, we just throwing people away because we don't like them. They make a mistake, in something they say. But there's a big difference between canceling someone or slamming someone for something they've done. Okay, so in a country that locks up as many people as we do, can you really berate kids for banishing people from Twitter? I mean, it's what the U.S. does. Most of the people who are in jail in this country are in jail not because they're bad people, but because they're poor. And that didn't change under your Department of Justice, under Eric Holder. But you want to grandstand about somebody being mean on Twitter or mean on Facebook. And I'm not falling for it. There are people falling for it. You're right on the money when you talk about the wars. He dropped more bombs his first year, than most presidents drop in their entire term. Drone strikes have collateral damage. How much collateral damage? What is it, 90%? Meaning unintended targets. Babies, moms, mothers, daughters, sons, fathers, grandfathers, schools, hospitals, people at home eating their dinner. So thank you so much, Lily, for calling up. And I do want to correct you on one part, though. Let's keep it 100, okay? A lot of people say this about Bernie. They're really pissed that Bernie campaigned for Hillary. They're really pissed that Bernie endorsed Hillary. Every candidate who runs as a Democrat in the Democrat Party, runs for the nomination in the Democratic Party, signs a contract to endorse the eventual nominee. Everybody, even Tulsi Gabbard. If Tulsi Gabbard will endorse everyone, she's already said it. Whoever the nominee is, they're going to support it. Is it possible that Bernie felt that Trump would hurt the country in different ways, that he was unwilling to sit back and say, blame it all on me. Because that's what they'll do. I mean, they do it anyway. But just know, guys, I just wish people would stop saying that Bernie kissed Hillary's butt. He did what he was obligated to do when caucusing and running as a Democrat. Or you can't run. And if it weren't for Bernie running and still being in good standing, he would be able to run as a Democrat now for the nomination. So we can't have it both ways. But I share your disgust. I was there in Philadelphia. I wanted him to contest it on the floor of the convention. I was there. It was 110 degrees. Some of you were there with me. So don't get it wrong. Don't get me twisted. Please understand, I feel you. I was there. I was at rallies in Philly. I was leading rallies. I was speaking in the heat, bald head, sweat pouring down. It was me and Lee Camp. Lee Camp and I. You know, I was there, man. So I'm with you, but the truth of the matter is all Democratic candidates are obligated to do that. It sucks. Okay? Well, thank you once again, Lily, for calling up. I appreciate you. And you're right. Water is life. No dapple. There it is. There it is. Okay, let me go on. Let's see if my 646 number is still in his house. Hey, 646, you're live, Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Oh, is that me?
That is you, my friend.
Hey,
Hey.
how are you, Tim Black, man? I would like to say, as a young black man, you are inspiration to me, bro. Not only as a comic and whatever, but a lot of things. You're inspiration to me.
Man, thank you.
What I want to talk about, what I want to talk about is Elizabeth Warren. Today, she released a disastrous Medicare for All bill, or plan. Mm-hmm. It's not a bill because it's absolutely disastrous. It's basically a head tax. It makes no sense. And she pretty much wrote this bill as a weapon to attack Bernie Sanders on. So she could say that I'm the only person who has a plan, Bernie Sanders doesn't have a plan, and try to outflank Bernie Sanders on Medicare for All, which is a bill he's been fighting for like 40 years. And I'm extremely frustrated. Fortunately, people on Twitter are very smart. Progressives are very smart. And people have read this bill, and they're not having it. I know you have to do your research on it before you check it out. But, yeah, I have a serious problem with this because Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders comes off to me as a genuine person who cares about people and really want to help people, and he's running for that reason. Elizabeth Warren comes off to me as a person who is running for the nomination for Elizabeth Warren. And she's just signing on to Bernie Sanders' bill, and she has no intention of ever passing this bill or fighting for it. I feel like this whole bill was just written to be defeated later on. And yes, that's that. And the next thing I want to talk about is Mayor Pete and this media narrative that he's on the rise and Bernie Sanders doesn't exist. I watched that video you posted earlier. That was absolutely heartbreaking and hilarious at the same time that he thinks that this is a two-way race between him and Elizabeth Warren. But I've been watching some CNN. I'm starting to see a narrative where, like, even on the show, they're kind of panicking. The millionaire pundits on TV are starting to panic and realize that we're 90-something days away from the first caucus vote, and they bet all their horses on Elizabeth Warren and Joe Biden. And I think I think behind the scenes they know their whole plan is imploding. That Bernie Sanders is going to kill it in Iowa. He's going to kill it in New Hampshire. And if he wins Nevada after that, I don't know what happens. This is my first time being a registered voter. I only registered to vote for Bernie Sanders and get involved in the political process. But yeah, I wanted to talk about that. And what do you think? I don't want to take up too much of your time. Yeah, that's it. So what do you think, Tim?
Wow. Well, I think that you got a pretty good grasp of what's going on, man. I appreciate you calling up, and I'm glad I can be inspirational. I hope you do some things, man. Shake up this world, man, and just go out there and put your touch on it, man. You got a lot to offer, young man. I'll tell you this. You're right about them fabricating Pete Buttigieg as being a viable candidate. He's really not, right? Hopefully I'll get asked that question on Fox, and I'll go anywhere and be who I am, so don't worry about that. Just like I go to Politicon around establishment creatures and just call it out. I don't care. My job is to get kicked out of places if they don't want to hear the truth. It's not to change my message, and it took me a while to learn that. Here's the thing, man. Crystal Ball from The Rising on the Hill, she was talking about how there were these articles written, to your point, about Pete Buttigieg, where they were clapping about Pete being in a close fourth. They weren't talking about who was number one, which was Bernie. They were writing about Pete being fourth. So, yeah, the fix is in, and, yeah, they are starting to get antsy and worried. They're about to sound the alarm. They're going to 2016, very famously, the Washington Post ran, 16 smear articles in 16 hours. I expect more of that, and it won't be enough. Bernie's going to kill it. I got into an argument at Politicon with Dr. Jason Johnson about Bernie Sanders. These people don't want to accept Bernie's popularity. They just don't want to accept it. They're going to be on their deathbeds denying that Bernie's popular. They would go to their graves denying it. I'm serious. Because to them, Bernie is the antithesis of capitalism, money, making money, status. This is what they've based their entire careers on. This is what they've been hoping to obtain. Why can't we just be in service to each other? Why can't we just want the best? What we want for ourselves, we want that for our brothers and our sisters. Why can't we just all want all of us to be successful and have a decent life and have health care and live indoors? So anyway, I don't want to bore you anymore. I don't want to go on too much more with it. Thank you for your phone call, young man. Keep your head up. We're going to keep doing what we do. The fight ain't over. Bernie's the only one with a revolution. That's the difference, and that's what you're attracted to. It's policy, and you're right. I do need to read Elizabeth Warren's. I did see her plan. I did see some mastheads about it. Some people were saying it was great, but those are establishment hacks who want to see Bernie get flanked by Elizabeth. So that's the ulterior motive. You know the deal. You already see it. All right. 559. You're live, 559 on Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, Brother Tim. It's Brother Eric here in Minnesota, originally from the other California. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. How you feeling?
Oh, doing great. It's been an interesting couple weeks since you've been away. But like I said, I think it's starting to snow here, but that's expected, I guess, for this time of year. But let's get to the meat and potatoes. I actually think it's going to be Julian Castro who's going to drop out next. I think they're hanging on to Harris till the end of till after the debates, because they're still holding out hope, I think, and obviously sliding Biden, they still really want him. He's going to keep clawing, but no, this is a race between Elizabeth and Bernard, and really I think the main difference is it's the energy. I mean, look, Elizabeth Warren, not a problem. I don't really, like or dislike. She's got a lot of, she's good for people who like wonky things, all the, the technical, I got a plan for that. I mean, that's about the one thing you can attribute to her, but there's no energy. Bernie brings energy, and you know what he's about. I mean, Medicare for all, jobs, the environment. He checks all the boxes, and he brings the energy, because what's his message? And let's always remember his message, not me, us. It's about us. It's like old Nina Turner said, hey, if we're not mad as hell right now, and if we're not ready to get out on the streets, there's something the matter. Because, and he says repeatedly, it's not going to just be him. It's going to take us all. It's going to take us all getting within, getting out there and forcing their hand. I have a feeling they're going to end up having to acquiesce. But we need to make it. We need to leave no doubt. We need to get out there. I mean, we need to register people. Hey, guys, to be a Democrat, registered Democrat, it has nothing to do with liking the party. It'd be like, like in basketball, if you like a certain player, like LeBron James. Oh man, he was on the, his Cavaliers, and he went to the Heat, and then he's in LA. But you don't have to be a Lakers fan. You could just like the man. This is the same thing with Bernie. And quite frankly, I'm glad he's there because you know what? The Democratic Party did used to be about, at least in the modern era. I mean, we can talk about that historically and whatnot, but it's been for the working people. And damn it, I want my party back kind of thing. It's like these rich assholes came into our house, screwed it up, and they want us to leave? I don't think so. You guys leave. You guys go out back. You guys go out in the alley. This is our house. And we're going to take it back. But that's one of them. But I was going to say to brother, I think was it Austin? I think who mentioned about people over the world are liking Bernie Sanders. There actually is one other place in the world that has a Bernie Sanders, and that's actually Mexico. The place Trump likes to bash. His name is Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador, or AMLO they call him, and kind of came in the same way. If you look at him, he's very, very similar to Bernie Sanders. So I would encourage people to look that up. They were ecstatic. And I think, honestly, there'd be a lot more support for Bernie if people didn't remember. It's like there's a cautious optimism because everybody knows that he's probably going to get screwed. So it's like, I'm going to support him. I'm going to do what I can right now. But ultimately, I think he's going to be screwed. And if that wasn't the case, honestly, hands down. And I have a feeling if we can get him to get that nomination, if he can get that nomination, hands down, he'll landslide Trump because he's not going to fall into the traps. He's the best one that can, because the biggest problem people have is that you fall into Trump's trap. He gets you egged on. He gets you going. He gets you diverted. He's not going to do that with Bernie. Bernie's too old and clever. And see, that's the benefit of some years. You know what these guys are going to do. So, and unfortunately, with youth, they think they know, but buddy, let's face it, old age and treachery beats out youth and enthusiasm more often than not, unfortunately. But
yeah.
So yeah, let's get in. Like I said, because he's offering. I think people would be. Again, probably more likely to protest. To me, he's offering solidarity, and it's actually, if I could make a slight comment because I've heard, again, different criticisms about him. People he's being hated by the right people. I would encourage at least like the ADOS, because I've been around a couple of ADOS people myself, and the biggest thing is, it's Congress, stupid. If you want reparations, you better start organizing in the 435 congressional districts. That's where you need it, because that's the one that does the appropriations. There's only 435 of them in Congress. That would basically do that to you. And Bernie, again, a presidential candidate. They can say whatever they want, basically. Then let's just keep it real. But do they have the power and ability to do what they want? Well, no, actually they don't. It's Congress, because that has to make it through Congress, and that's another obviously stall tactic. But it's like, what do they offer just in general? Hey, maybe if people didn't have to worry about feeding their kids, where they went to school, debt, especially health care, housing, putting food on the table, they'd probably stand in solidarity.
Good point.
Be a lot more willing to say, yeah, you know what, this is pretty screwed up. But they got people so twisted now that, hey, I got to worry about mine. Let's face it, when you're worried about losing a job, it's kind of hard to do what they're doing down in Chile, or what you see happening all over the world. It's like a workers' revolt, saying, "Hey, man, we've had it." And when you look at what happened, even in Mexico with AMLO, the people just had it. They said, "You know what? We're tired of this." So I think we can do the same thing, man. Let's get after it.
I love it, man. Thank you for the phone call, man. I appreciate it. And yeah, there's more than one way to get it done. I think that I just believe that part of it is we need a bigger coalition. That's the reason why I had Dr. Sandy Darity. When his people reached out to me, I was happy to have him come on the show because one of my criticisms has been, and I've kept it quiet, I haven't been going around criticizing people publicly, but I think people are a little bit too abrasive. And I think you need a little bit of massaging with your message. And you need more than just black folks to want to do it. You're going to need more people. You're going to need more people, Johnson. And it is what it is. It is what it is. I just think that needs to happen. And I think you got to expand your coalition. Just because black people want something don't mean it's going to get done. You need white people and Latino people and Asian people. You need everybody. You need some of everybody involved. And I didn't see that happening. And I understand you want to get the movement going, but you got to expand. And I don't see no reaching out. I'm the largest black independent media on the left. I don't know who else you're talking to, but there's no open door for me. And that's fine. But if your plan is to exclude people that can help you, then how are you going to be successful? So I don't understand it, but maybe I don't have to. It ain't up to me to understand. So it is. But that's my 2 cents. Take it or leave it or throw it away. It is what it is. Talib Kweli reached out to me at one point, DM me about it, and I didn't jump in it. I didn't jump in on either side of it. But anyway, big conversation going on. Let me go to the next call, man. But yeah, I hear you about Bernie, and yeah, Bernie has a movement going. It's a revolution. And Elizabeth Warren's got some ideas. Half of them she took from Bernie, and the other half, like you said, Andrew Yang has 100 policies on his website. Anybody, 100 ideas on his website. And people are like, he's got ideas. I'm like, yeah. How much political capital does he have? And what's the likelihood of getting that stuff done? And see, and is he willing to risk it all to get that stuff done? That's a question you got to ask yourself. And I believe when it comes to Bernard Sanders, I believe he's willing to risk it all to get it done. Man had a heart attack on the campaign trail. That's dedication. That's dedication, I tell you. This is dedication. I wrote the damn bill. Going on to the next call. 917, you're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name and what's your comment?
Hey, Tim, this is your boy Sam in New York City. How you doing, man?
What's up, man? Glad to have you. What's on your mind?
Well, as always, first I got to give you credit, man, because, I watch you, Jimmy Dore, Kyle Kalinske. To have Kyle Kalinske and Tim Black, and, of course, a shout-out to Nico from yelling back in the audience, calling Tommy on her own words of, like, well, why don't you leave the country? That's like the dream team. That's the all-star basketball team right there. That's the golden age of the Jordan, Pippen, and Rodman, man. Whew. All right, and then on top of that, not only you had your game on point, your style, man. You had your style on point. I'm like, she's done before she even walked in. Like, that's it. I was like, you're not gonna win against Kyle, who knows the stuff inside out, against Tim, who knows the stuff inside out, and plus, Tim's giving tips to Shaft on how to dress. You're just gonna lose that.
That's crazy. Thank you, Sam. I appreciate it, man.
Man, always not for love, man. So, just wanted to run a few things with you. So, first I want to say, did you catch that poll? I think The Hill did a special on it. Or they did a segment on it, but like a CNN poll, one of the qualifying polls. They had Yang, Gabbard, and one more all went up, and Harris dropped back to like 2% or something. 2. And I was just laughing my butt off, and I'm like, okay, so clearly now on The View, I forget that woman who kept saying, well, she's only polling at like 1.2%. She's, that's, why doesn't she drop out? Why doesn't she drop out? I'm like, well, now clearly, being that you're not a hypocrite, you'll say, why isn't Kamala Harris dropping out? Right? I mean, that's if you're consistent, which none of us should hold our breath. So I'm like, that was just hilarious. All right. And, props to you for going back on our show on Fox News, man. That's just the beginning. Sky's the limit with you. Now, just in terms of who I support. So first off, Joe, like I said from day one, Joe is never going to win the nomination. Why? He's been trying every single time, okay? And if he was good about being a candidate, he'd be a president by now. He's not. He loses. There's a reason they say Joe sticks his foot in his own mouth, okay? I mean, I saw the saddest video of him, like he's like trying to do the grassroots movement. And I was like, dude, I've seen people hold up their cell phone cameras talking into it sound better than you. It was like something like an old 1980s dating film. Like, if you see the number below, please call. I like long walks on the beach. I'm like, God, that is just terrible. So, that's fine. Now, a point is why I could never vote for Warren. I would vote for her in the general, sure. But for me, the character of when Tulsi was in the DNC. She was their golden ticket. Ooh, look, she's diverse, and we're going to put her right at the top, in the vice president of the DNC and everything. She literally jumped on a grenade for Bernie, which no one should be surprised. That's what soldiers do. They protect others, So she was a soldier. She's like, oh, no, I'm not standing with this. I actually have this thing called honor and integrity. Warren, however, chose not to back Bernie when he needed, because he could have really used that help. That would have got him that state. And she was like, it was all obvious that she was afraid of political, push for payback from Hillary. But I'm like, no. If you're not willing to stand on your principles, then you're not willing to stand for anything. Mm-hmm. On top of that, I am, when she got goaded by Trump on that whole Native American thing, I'm like, Now, where I critique Tulsi, obviously I'm not a fan of her doing the whole insurance for some. No. Here's why. It's because you cannot take the Obama approach of trying to meet in the middle. And you could say it's still to the left, yes, but you have to, there's a saying, aim for the stars and you'll hit the moon. Now, I work in the healthcare. Sometimes I call you from my ambulance job, Tim. I shouldn't be doing that, but, it's all good. So healthcare is important to me. But the reason I would support Tulsi's my choice over Bernie is because, Tim, look, the calls we have to go to the VA hospitals, it would break your heart, man. These are dudes who are about my age who came back from war, and it's so underfunded. And, I think when I was reading, even the Post had an article on Tulsi, and they're talking to people in Iowa, and they were saying, something about a billboard. If anybody's curious, check it out. It was just type in Google Tulsi billboard or whatever. But they were asking the people in Iowa, and they were like, I kind of lean toward her because, look, I have kids who are 17 years old, and they've never known us not to be in war. People on the right, they see her as I can trust her because she wasn't like some military officer who sat in the back in an office and air conditioning. No, she was on the front line. She understands war. Now, to me, that's important because, look, I love Bernie, all right? He would have been, if Tulsi wasn't in the race, he would be my number one. I'd be out there wearing a Bernie shirt all the time. But the reason I'm hesitant with that is, for one, is, take Trump, for example, and I'm not crediting the guy's an idiot in every sense. But it's very easy if, you or I or anyone else who are not in the military, we're sitting in a room thinking this is the right policy to do, and you have 3, 4, 5, 4-star generals roll into your office. You have defense analysts. All these people are in your office telling you, Mr. President, that's not what we would suggest. I would recommend this. Even if you wanted to stick to your principles, by definition, you're probably going to lean towards their advice because you're like, all right, well, clearly you've been in these situations, And, they're generals. They see the world as nails, and they have the hammer, and that's it. So with Tulsi behind the desk, I'm like, no. She can tell these generals, go screw yourself, all right? We tried your way. It doesn't work. We're doing it my way. So that's where I'm leaning towards. And now people say, Bernie Tulsi ticket. I think Michael Tracy pointed this out. I think with the vice president, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the Democrat, she has to go through a committee or something. She has to be selected by a few other, a whole committee thing. I don't think they just get to pick her. If that's the case and I'm wrong, I'll be happy to be wrong. Tulsi being vice president would be good and bad. It's good because people were saying in that same article in the Post that I like Bernie, but he's too old. And many people think, oh no, that can't hurt him, But that was one of the key factors that hurt McCain, because when McCain was running, people were like, oh no, if he dies and he looks very old, Sarah Palin's going to be in office. God have mercy on all of us, Right. So, but with Tulsi right there, it's cool. If he falls, she's ready. Why is it bad, though, is because, and continuing on the good, is she reaches voters that Bernie can't. And the voters that we're talking about are people who have family in the military, who themselves serve. You know, they understand Bernie's like, those might seem as an idealist. But they look at Tulsi and they're like, okay, she knows what I'm going through. She knows exactly the pain I'm suffering through, you know, because people don't want their kids shipped into overseas. I mean, I know people in the military like, I don't want to be stationed in Iraq. They don't even want us there. I don't want to be guarding an oil field in Syria just to jack their resource. Like, that's absurd. It's not why I took an oath. So I just want to say, like, but it's bad because Vice President doesn't have much power. I'd rather her be Secretary of State. That's got the power. Now, to your point when you were saying, like, yeah, but, you know, she's got a long career ahead of herself. Actually, I don't know what she has ahead of herself because she's no longer running for her Congress seat in Hawaii. So what's next for her? I don't know. Governor, who knows? But right. I think she's putting everything in the basket. And I hope Bernie remembers this stuff because I think he needs to remember she jumped on the sword for him. And that costs her everything. That's the key point.
All right,
anyway,
brother.
I know you got a lot of callers. Let's raise those points, Tim. As always, you're killing it, and I cannot wait to see you next time. Next Friday. But I will tune in on Fox on Sunday just for you. I'll have to grind my teeth. Please post us the time. Don't make us sit and watch Fox News all day.
No, I'll let you know, man. All right, brother. Thank you so much for the phone call, Sam. I appreciate it, man, and thank you for what you do, man. Look, I want you to know I appreciate your position and what you're saying about Tulsi Gabbard. Everybody's got their own opinions. Everybody, they're coming from a good place. As long as it's coming from a good place, I respect the hell out of it. You know, my job, what I feel like I'm trying here to do is not to make people change their allegiance or change their support from anybody. But I'm not so certain that Tulsi can beat can beat Trump. Listen, man, and I'm not buying into this thing where the Democratic coalition can be remade with a bunch of Republicans. I'm not saying there aren't Republicans now. I'm not saying, that Hillary wasn't a Republican. I think she was. And I think so was Obama. In another time, Obama was a Republican, not a Democrat. But the coalition that were able to get him in the White House was a diverse coalition. I don't think Tulsi Gabbard will create a diverse coalition. And I don't think there's going to be as many Republicans as you think that are going to vote Democrat because Tulsi's running as one. I don't. Look, typically, the Democratic Party pours about 37 to 40% of the white vote. The Republican Party always wins the white vote. Tulsi Gabbard does not inspire black folks enough for them to come out. She hasn't made any effort to. I don't even see any black people in anything she does. What is she doing? What does she talk? She doesn't talk about any black issues. How is she going to inspire, entice, or influence black people to come out? That's Bernie's whole thing, is making disaffected voters want to vote. I'm also not convinced that the majority of Americans are going to be moved by foreign policy. I know it moves you. I know it moves a lot of us on the left, but does it move enough of the country? When we do surveys, there's a number of studies out there to tell you what Americans care about. It's appalling, but the propaganda is so thick that most Americans are not aware of the war machine to the extent that we are, not even close to it. They think our war machine is helping people. That's what they think. The propaganda is so thick. That's what people think. I don't think you can win an election on a foreign policy. You ain't going to be able to win it. It's not. First of all, the powers that be that are more concerned with keeping that foreign policy, that war money running, they're not going to let the conversation become transparent enough for you to run a foreign policy campaign that challenges or wins the presidency. They'd rather lose the next 3 elections than give up their war money. This is my opinion based on the information at hand. So I don't see it happening. I just don't see it happening where Tulsi Gabbard becomes president. I don't even think she has a shot at it. And it's not because I harbor something against her. Everything I laid out. You may disagree with my theory, but it's a theory, Johnson. It's not just me pulling something out of thin air and saying it because I got a gut feeling. No, it's based on how elections are won and lost in this country. If you can't, Tulsi Gabbard's not inspiring Latino organizations to come out. She's not inspiring black organizations to come out. Who's voting for her? She's campaigning for something else that's not the presidency. Some people say she might want to run for Senate in Hawaii. There are other positions. And I think if she was truly running for that, to become president to the extent where I think she's a smart lady. I think she'd be doing things a little bit differently. That's what I think. All right, guys, I'm going to go to the next call. I'm sure that's going to cause a lot of conversation, right? I don't think, I don't know what other people are saying. I don't watch anybody else in progressive media to see what their opinion is on something. There's some people I watch just because I enjoy their content, but I don't watch to go around and see what are the thoughts, what are the people thinking. This is me. This is my analysis. And once again, you may disagree with it, but it's an analysis. It's not based on voodoo dolls and a dislike for pineapples on pizza. Thank you for the phone call, Sam. 602. 602, you're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Tim Black.
Hey.
TB, I bring a message of love tonight.
I love it.
For having the great honor to finally speak to you personally. And also because I'm in trouble.
Uh-oh.
I am in trouble tonight, TB.
What you do, man?
I sent my beautiful wife into a restaurant some 20 minutes ago. And she said, "Why are you calling Tim Black now?" And I said, if my phone is right, there's like 20 people listening, baby. I said, there were 400 people last night. I said, the hardcore is paying attention, and I got to speak to them. TB, this is Mark Swanson. And I just want to say that thank you for sticking up for Bernie. There is a difference between Bernie standing next to the deeply flawed, corrupt, warmongering Wall Street shill and Elizabeth Warren standing next to her with her hands in the air, because Bernie was obligated to campaign even after they stole the 2016 primaries from him. And I want to say to the audience tonight, where is Julian Assange this evening? Where is he? He's not free. And only because of WikiLeaks did we see 20,000 DNC emails released the week prior to the 2016 Democratic National Convention that forced the DNC in a punitive action to fire 4 executive staff members, including Debbie Wasserman Schultz, who had to resign in disgrace of a scandal. And also because of WikiLeaks, 50,000 more emails landed in October and November of 2016. These from John Podesta, Hillary's campaign chairman, that showed the world the amount of corruption of Hillary, including the Hillary Victory Fund, which was supposed to raise money for 35 state parties, Democratic Party local candidacies, that they kept bringing up that Bernie's not a Democrat, and Hillary was going to these posh bashes in Hollywood and elsewhere and raising money to the tune of $62 million. And all of it, 96%, ended up transferred to the state coffers and then immediately transferred to Brooklyn to Hillary's campaign. And that's only because of WikiLeaks. Did we learn that information and the information about what the DNC did to sandbag Senator Sanders' campaign? And I bring this message.
90 seconds.
My brothers and sisters, stalwart militants that you are, the 20 who are on this podcast, this is a generational candidate. They stole it from him last time. They are doing their damnedest to steal it from him now. And he is fighting the powers that be, the military-industrial complex, big pharma, oil and gas. Line it up.
60 seconds.
They will do anything, the colluding corporate national press, to stop Bernie Sanders. And I say to you this, whatever you are doing, my brothers and sisters, ask yourself this question. In this election of our lives, can you do more? Is there one more phone call you can make? Are there people in your neighborhood who didn't vote last time? The biggest percentage of registered voters in this nation did not show up. Do not try to convince some centrist neoliberal elitist. Look at all the people who didn't vote. The next biggest block and the largest block of registered voters are
10
independent.
seconds.
I tell you, this is where we have inroads to make. Whatever you are doing, my brothers and sisters, ask yourself, is there something else I can do locally to people in my neighborhood, to my brothers and sisters, my family? Is there one more conversation I can have? This will not come our way again. The time is now. It's 100 days and less to Iowa. And this is when we must be reaching deep with the commitment that we have for this man is like a star from above, a luminance that we will not see again. I say to you, reach deep. And Tim, I just want to say that, I saw that clip of you and your beautiful family in your hotel room when you were worried about your white shoes. What a beautiful family you have, my man.
Thank you, brother.
And secondly, I watched a little bit of the Politicon, and I saw that the moderator was wearing white shoes too. So I felt good for you. And you slayed it.
Thank you, brother.
And I want to say to you, my brother, that you bring it. Because my wife's inside and my phone is dying, I wanted to reach out to the militants tonight and just bring that message of love. Now, brothers and sisters, now is when we dig deep and through this. They stole it from him before. It's going to be torches and yellow vests in the streets if they do it again. This is, as Senator Sanders said, not about us. It's about your children and your grandchildren. And if you feel despair, dig deep and think of the bigger picture. This could be, after 4 decades of neoliberal, centrist, Republican-like bullshit in the Democratic Party, let us have an independent senator take it back. Because I tell you, TB, if they do it again, there's only one solution, and that is Vietnam War era, people in the street, revolution. My brother.
My brother, man. Thank you, Mark,
God
man.
bless. God bless to everybody.
Man, God bless you
Right
too,
on.
man. You got it, brother. Thank you for calling up with that spirited. Took us to church moment. You rallied the troops moment. I appreciate you, man. And it even inspires me, man, because someone hit me up earlier today about Julian Assange, and it kind of ticked me off a little bit because I've covered Julian a lot, but I feel like I just don't know what to say, man. Yeah, maybe bringing somebody on the show who can articulate the story of what's happening with him would be the better course to go for me. Other than ranting and raving, I really don't know what else to say. And it gets that way sometimes. It's, there's also a mental health aspect to this job that people, I don't know if it's evident for people, you wear this, you own this. Imagine getting up in this, living the news cycle every day, all day, 365. That's what I do. And it's not, it's very often, it's not nice stories and good stories and warm feelings and puppy dogs and kittens. But I thank you, brother, for your spirited phone call, man. I think it motivates a lot of people, and you're right. Don't take this moment for granted. So with that same spirit, know your polling place. Know if you have a closed primary or open primary. Know these things. I'm in Maryland. It's a closed primary. That means I have to be a registered Democrat if I want to vote for Bernie Sanders. You need to know these things. First-time voters, let's find out. Now's the time to find out. If you want, hey, look, if you respect me at all, if you care at all about what I do me the favor of finding out how your elections work in your state. That's all. That's all. I'm going to go to the next phone call, man. Thank you, Mark, man, and tell your wife, thank her. Thank her. I said hello. Tell her I said thank you and hello, and I hope you ordered something good. Yeah, I forgot my dress shoes. I didn't have any dress shoes for Politicon, but as much walking as I ended up doing, it was okay, Johnson. Believe me. In fact, I think I lucked out not bringing them. Because then I got to be a little bit more casual. Makes you just feel a little bit more like, hey, if they throw me out, at least I got my sneakers on, man. All right, 727. 727, you're live on Freedom Friday.
Tim Black.
Hey, how you doing? Who's this?
Hey, it's Daphne.
Daphne, what's on your
With a
mind?
D.
Hey, Daphne, what's on?
Hey. Oh my gosh, what a hard act to follow. Golly, that guy. And oh my gosh, I have to reiterate, I loved what I saw on Politicon with you and what's that lady's name, Tommy or something like that, and Kyle, and y'all just, oh my gosh, I was so happy to see you, and I was going last week, where is he? Why isn't he on? And I was like, oh my gosh, it's Politicon already. But anyway, I wanted to say that I think I like one other person said, I think there were some whispers of Julian Castro being the next person to drop out. Bernie has my heart. I mean, I don't mean to make light of it like it's just about my own personal sentiments. I just believe he has the empathy and the sincerity, and he's shown, like Nina Turner, he has the receipts, Again, you were talking earlier about the moral high ground. Again, with Nina Turner, she says, we want an America that lives up to its promise. I can't ever match her enthusiasm. I would love to see a Bernie Nina ticket personally. I think that she is she and Bernie together would just really do it. I really do. I think when people see Bernie, when they see him for who he is, and then people see Nina with him, it's like this power ticket, I think Mike Figueredo has also said that. But I am really worried, and I don't hear a lot about this. It's almost like they're sort of keeping it under the carpet, that this whole, second vote of the super delegates it was like when we first heard about it, we thought, oh, great, they're actually making changes and they actually give a rip, or they actually are trying to make things more fair, which is, the whole thing is super unfair and not democratic at all. But I'm really concerned about this second vote that they're going to do, and I've been sort of like following Movement for a People's Party, which started with some folks that were involved in Bernie's campaign for 2016, and they seem so kind of convinced that there's just the system will not allow this, that they will not allow Bernie to do this, because the money, the people in power with the money will just never allow anything that, I mean, they hate poor people, they hate working people. I know I'm being like a little bit exaggerating here, but I mean, they just don't care almost. It's so it's really very depressing. And I'm just hoping, and I'm wondering, and maybe you can address this, and some of the other folks I hope will as well. How can we, as Bernie supporters? I mean, I've had to kind of like I have to admit to you, I did like drop my wolf pack because I had to give more money to Bernie. I have limited funds, and I'm going to go back. Don't worry, but. You know, I'm trying to donate to Bernie as much as I can to make sure that he is able to have, because again, you know this, that, you know, he doesn't have the Hampton parties and he doesn't have the super PAC and this stuff. And they all keep backsliding too, like Biden, Warren, Buttigieg. You know, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. Oh, I'll do it in the general. No, I'm going to, I'm not, it's bribery. Pure and simple, it's bribery. And if you're against bribery, then you won't do that. And Bernie's the only one. And I just think, there's something to be said for the term public servant, and I think that's been lost on these folks. I wish, like, Buttigieg would, keep, drop down. I love, him trying to, you showed a video about him, with his, I don't know, backsliding and stuff. And it's just like, you see, I'm sorry if I think that was you. I watch a lot of videos, unfortunately. I'm inundated, but I'm really concerned about the superdelegates. And I guess my main thing is if people can just keep on, like the guy said before, a couple calls before me, donate, try to get involved, get on those phones. Those people are waiting for you. They're waiting for you to say, yes, I will call, I will do this, I will do that. And we haven't had anybody like this in my lifetime. And, we have the younger people. Hopefully, they'll show up and vote. I think they will. But we people who are, sort of older and just really enthusiastic about it, we need to do our part too, and make sure that we have a country that lives up to its promise.
I hear you.
So
thank you so much for the phone call.
I love what you do. I can't wait. Pardon?
I said thank you for the phone call. Yeah,
I can't wait to see you on Fox News. Be fair and balanced, okay?
I will not, but I thank you so much. Yeah, more information about that. I put out more information about that. They called me before Politicon. This is before Politicon. I'm going to ask them what made them do this. Anyway, 850, let's go. Well, hey, guys, we got crunch time because we don't have that much more time on the phone lines, and I got a lot of people on the phone lines. So let me try to get through as many people as possible. I'll save my comments until after. 850, you're next. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hello, this is George. Can you hear me?
I hear you, George. What's up? What's on your mind, George?
Oh, good. I hung up on you earlier trying to answer. Hey, man, I just want to congratulate you on Politicon. That was great. And I wanted to let you know, I don't know if you saw it, but Nico and Kyle were raving about you, man. They were just Tim killed it.
Wow.
And they not only said it, I mean, they said it like 4 or 5 times. Yeah, they just had a little powwow, and I thought that was cool, man. Like, they were giving you mad props. I got to see one panel you were on, and yeah, you killed it, and it was great. But man, the video you sent out with everybody hugging you and taking selfies, I was so sad I wasn't there, man. I would love a Tim Black hug.
Thank you, my brother. I appreciate it, George.
I want to just say something, positive about the Bernie campaign lately that just made it feel surreal for me. Like, okay, this guy Jack White, I don't know if you guys know a lot about him, but I mean, he's 4 years. I'm 4 years his senior, and I practically idolize him as a musician and as a human being, as a genius. And this guy's never ever once come out politically, and said, hey, I'm this or that or whatever, and he comes out for Bernie Sanders all of a sudden. I'm like, what? and then he does this rally for him and just kicks ass, and I just want to, regular viewers to know, because, we got a lot of Bernie supporters on the line, that, it's a big deal for this guy, and I just want, everybody to reach out to him and give him thanks and praises for that, because, being in the limelight, you don't get a lot of leeway on stuff like that. It's a gamble. You just don't know. And I think it was a good gamble for him to come out, and speak truth to power, in his own way. And I mean, because he's so much like Bernie, because he works his ass off, man. I mean, he's one of those people like you too, that just get up and go every day, man. They go and go and go. They're fighting the good fight, and he promotes other musicians. He's doing wonders for Detroit. He busts his ass, man. He 24/7. This guy's busting his butt, and I think it's so cool that he came out. And then we got 3/4 of the squad coming out for Bernie. That's rock and roll, man. I mean, we're in a good spot. Not to mention the millions of volunteers we've got. And they're still trying to write us off. I don't know, man.
Right.
I think I'm because I have this thing where I'm very cynical, but sometimes I'm overly optimistic at the same time. And, I don't want to jump the gun, but I think we got this. Like, I don't know, but because with the DNC and the blah, 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 I think that's our worst enemy. It's not just the DNC itself, but our fear of the DNC and what they're going to do.
Wow.
I think we've got this. Like if we really put our heads down and we really, and it's something that Kyle said too, about, and what Bernie said all along about the mass movement, and Kyle was saying, Bernie looks everybody in the eye on national television and says, get your ass over to Joe Manchin's apartment right now. You know how many people will show up at Joe Manchin's apartment and shit will happen. He's got the ground movement. He's got the grassroots movement. He's got people marching behind him.
All right.
The Chicago Teachers Union. Look how much leeway. Look what they did. In such a short time, man, they kicked ass.
I hear you, George. I got to keep it going, George, because we got more people, man. But thank you so much for the phone call, George, man.
Thanks for talking.
You got it, brother. Thank you so much. 11111. Your next. What's your comment? 11111.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing? You're live.
Is this me?
That is you, my friend. You're live on the Tim Black Show.
Oh, okay, excellent. That's not my number, but okay, great. There's a number of things I'd love to talk about. I'd like to talk about a lot of things. One thing that
3
I
minutes
guess would start. I'll start quickly. The relitigation of 2016. Now that Hillary Clinton has and her people have brought up the prospect of her possibly running again, I'm just wondering at what point we're allowed to litigate 2016, let alone relitigate, right? And there's a number of things that come to mind on what could have been done in 2016, whether it was Obama's not pushing the TPP and all these people who decided that the Hillary Clinton email issue it's not an issue. They're gonna go out and take the hit on this one. They're gonna say, hey, it's not an issue, this email thing, and then only for after the election to squeal without any recognition that they bear an enormous amount of responsibility for not choosing Bernie Sanders or a better candidate who was who did not have these issues. They just dismissed it as if it wasn't a thing, and then they didn't take responsibility after the fact, right? And I just want to say also, I have a whole ton of things I'd like to talk to, but I know it's late. I'll just say it's not that people disagree with me, it's how they disagree with me. And it's a lot of sophistry and defeatism against Bernie Sanders, and it's nothing substantive. And I'll leave it at that, and I'll leave your comments. I would like to talk about Andrew Yang, as a matter of fact, but I'll leave that to another day. Thank you so much.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it, man. It's just that we are so lit up. The phone lines are so lit, my friend. I'm just trying to get everybody in. Some reason your number comes up as all ones, brother. I don't know what that is. 516, you're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Yes. Good night, and thank you for this time on this call. Congratulations on everything that you're doing, and congratulations on what you did at Politicon.
Thank you.
Yes, of course, I as well had a lot to say, but I'll try to cut it down. I'd like to speak on the issue of the ADOS. And on that issue, I have a serious fear. My fear is that the significant power brokers of the ADOS movement are to black people as Donald Trump was to the angry whites in the Rust Belt and those whites who felt forgotten. And I have a reason why I'm thinking that. My fear is, sorry, this may seem conspiratorial, but my fear is that the CIA and powerful people within the government created these movements or helped create it as a means of containment and destruction of legitimate black grievances. This will not be the first time that the CIA and the FBI will try to interfere in the black movement, either with Dr. King or with Malcolm X. At the very least, I can say this, even though the other stuff I said can't be proven. I will say this, it is an act of sabotage, in my view, for the movement to separate and keep out everyone who is an ADOS from helping the movement or playing a part in moving the ADOS agenda forward. Secondly, the videos that they do, the meetings that they have, just seem to me like blowing steam blowing sessions which bring nothing. And also, too, the ADOS power brokers, one interesting fact is, money is being made. Money is being made just like the issue is with the corrupt preachers that they attack and criticize. They're making money. So I look at this as who is standing to gain. And if the strategy is simply just to be angry and to divide themselves from everybody, including other blacks who may not be ADOS, et cetera, then this is just some sabotage and looks funny to me. On the issue of Hillary Clinton, it was horrible what she did to Tulsi, and I liked that Tulsi gave her a very good comeback. Interestingly, what Tulsi exposed Hillary for, which was that her stooges were working behind the scenes through the DNC and corporate media. This is exactly what has been chronicled in Vox magazine or Vox report and in Politico in March of this year. Vox of March 8th had a report that the anti-Bernie Sanders campaign being pushed by former Clinton staffers explained.
Okay.
And then Politico of March 5th also exposed the same thing. It says Flint's camp stews over Sanders' 2020 campaign.
All right, brother. I got to leave it there,
You might have
man.
heard a few days ago.
I have to leave it there, though. Just pressed for time, brother. I appreciate the phone call. On the ADOS thing, I will just say this. I feel like I need to. I don't have any way of knowing if what you allege is true. And so I would never make an allegation that they're doing this for money or that they're benefiting money monetarily, and that's a motivating factor for them. So since I don't have that, I definitely got to say, hey, the opinions expressed by the caller are not my opinions because I don't know that. People say that about everything. I mean, they're like, Tim Black, you doing this for money? Like, man, I used to be in IT. I used to make money years ago. I left it. I'm not making anywhere near what I used to make back when I was doing that, when I was selling my soul for computers. But so anyway, yeah, I don't want to say that. And then the Hillary comments, I hear you, my friend. And I'm glad Tulsi smacked her up too. I'm going to the next call though. 816. 816, you're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your
816 here.
Yes, sir.
You hear me?
Yes.
Okay. The reason I'm calling tonight, I want to thank you for doing your work. I appreciate it. Y'all are in the wheelhouse, certainly. But the reason I called tonight is to see if I can get you to do a journalism job for me. About a year ago, I was watching football on a Sunday afternoon, and they come to breaks, like a change of possession and such. And so I went channel surfing, and I happened to wind up over on MSNBC, and lo and behold, there was Katie Torr, doing interviews out in front of a Trump rally, okay? And what stands out about it, what I found fascinating about it is the fact that on the public address system, they play music on the public address system. They played "Sympathy for the Devil." Okay, I found that just a little bit out there, frankly. In fact, I about fell out of my chair laughing when I heard them playing "Sympathy for the Devil." The opening line, "Please allow me to introduce myself. I'm a man of wealth and taste." And so my question would be, how can we get that video? I actually tried to go in the archives and never got that far back. And it's going to be actually fairly easy to find. That was the Sunday before the general election in 2018. And it'll be in the afternoon sometime.
Well, you know what, brother? I'm not sure how you'd find it, but this broadcast goes out to a lot of people. It's also available on iTunes. So it's not only YouTube and Periscope. And I heard we're running on Facebook, even though I got an error when I launched. So we're on Facebook as well. But so thousands of people are going to hear you make that claim. So you put it out there. So, guys, if you got an answer, email me at tim@timblacktv.com, the answer of how he could find this recording. And if you'll email me, my brother, I will forward you the email if someone replies. All right? All right, I got to keep it moving, though. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. I got another 816 number. I got two 816 numbers. 816, you're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, it's Jeremy. So I just want to talk about Julian Assange for a second.
Okay.
Like why they even go after, people like that. It all goes back to like keeping the financial system afloat. The reason we're all over the world, bases all over, is to keep everybody using our dollar. And I think it makes me so happy to hear all these people talking about change. I love your channel. You're doing an awesome thing. But I think we all need to be prepared for the fact that when we do get this change to happen, that is also going to destroy our financial system. And so, like if we're all striving for this change, we also need to be keeping our wealth somewhere safe. So I just really wanted to say that to everybody. And also just everybody needs to pat themselves on the back. Like, we're doing a good job and we're going to get this change soon,
All right, brother. Well, I appreciate you calling up, and you heard them, guys. Like, the system wanted to change. There's gonna be growing pains in this, but I still believe that since most of the money goes to the top anyway, my brother, 40% of those people who are homeless have jobs. I don't know how much worse off they could be because some rich people lost some money. Let's keep it moving. 410. 331 is after 410. 410, you're next. You're live. What's your name and what's your comment?
Hey, Tim Black. This is Ron McMillan. How are you?
Ron, what's up, Uncle Ron? How you doing, brother?
Oh, not too bad. I just want to get a couple things in, and you're doing everything that you have to, brother. I'm glad to see where things are going for you right now. But what I wanted to talk about, when you did a segment on the polls a couple of weeks ago, maybe 10 days or so ago, and are they believable? And the answer is absolutely no. They seem to be always leaving out 2/3 of the people in the country when they put these polls out, because, as you have said, you got to look at the numbers, and they have not been including independents nor Republicans, and therefore, you're leaving out 2/3 of the voters in the country, some of whom are going to vote for Bernie, some of whom are going to vote for Tulsi, and so on and so on.
True.
So that's why everything has been so skewed and has had Warren and Biden up at the top. But I think Warren has peaked. We know that Kamala's heading down, and we know that Beto just dropped out, and Booker, Klobuchar, Harris, Steyer, Castro, they're not going anywhere. The only two people that are heading up, besides Bernie, is Tulsi and the Chain Gang. And when you think about that, those two segments would probably be having support for Sanders in the long run. And I think when we look at what Tulsi's doing, she is calling out the military-industrial complex in a big way now. She is asking or demanding that the 9/11 transcripts be released. Now, I've seen some of them and read some of them redacted, and I'm not sure exactly what angle she's going to be coming from, but she says, hey, I went there because you all said that we were supposed to be there, but you lied. And I don't know what constituency would back her, but I do believe that she will continue to go up in the polls. And I think in the long run, as I said, that her people, or she would pledge her delegates to Sanders, if because she doesn't have a chance based on some of the things that you've also said earlier about who she is not courting as far as the voters are concerned. And but I really hope that 5 or 6 more of these people drop out before the end of the year. I only see Biden, Warren, Tulsi, Chang, and Buttigieg is a Trojan horse.
Yeah.
I got to keep an eye on him. He's a Trojan horse, and they may want to throw. If he stays in it, he may be the person who gets the nomination because of the superdelegates.
Wow.
And
yeah, I hear you, man.
because Biden isn't going to beat him. Biden can't. There's only one person, 1 or 2 people possibly that can go head to head with Trump. I don't need to keep going over this, but everybody knows it's Bernie. Bernie's the only one who has the history and the gumption to go up against Trump. He went up against the entire Democratic Party in 2016, from Hillary to the mayors to the little towns across the country, the governors, and so on and so on. He's the only person that can go up against Trump. And the sooner the people realize that, and we need to get the movements going again. You talk about the coalitions. It's going to be time for the Bernie or Bust people to start getting loud again. We're going to actually need Black Lives Matter to get in on this, and starting to because things have quieted down for them, and people who support the Green New Deal. These coalitions, those 3 coalitions right there, are all left.
All right. Well, thank you, Ron. I appreciate it.
With more than less. You go ahead. I'll talk to you later.
All right, now, thank you for the phone call, man. I appreciate it. Wow, wow, wow. Yeah, I haven't heard about Black Lives Matter in a while. They've been silent. I don't know what's going on. 331, you're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment? 331, you're live.
Yeah, hello?
Hey, you're live.
Hey, Tim, how are you doing?
I'm good, man. You sound very muffled. I can't really hear you.
Well, I'm very sorry. My name is Randall. I am calling all the way from Mexico.
My brother, how are you? What's on your mind?
I'm doing fine. Am I, the sound is better now?
Yeah, a little bit better. Go ahead.
Okay, so a couple of calls back, I heard the name AMLO. I know you wanted to butt in. So here in Mexico, it's very funny what's happening because we had a very difficult elections lately. The past couple of decades, we had a terrible president in the 90s, which was basically our version of Bill Clinton and George Bush combined. He was a real neoliberal and a really terrible president. And ever since, AMLO has been fighting for those things, and he actually ran 3 times for the presidency, and it wasn't until the 3rd time that he actually won. So I just want to tell you, American friends, that don't be discouraged. There is always many things that you can do. And if AMLO did it by the 3rd time, the saying, the 3rd time's the charm, you can do it as well. But I wanted to tell you something very important, and not just for you, Tim. Maybe we can talk about it later on down the road. But something that is happening at the moment is that people are falling for the trap that Pete Buttigieg is putting now. That a public option, or the fucking name that he says that it's a Medicare for all who want it shit. People are falling for it and saying that, oh, maybe a public option is not that bad. And I do like Medicare for all, and I like the concept of it, but I don't think that it's necessary to get rid of private insurance, even though people actually don't like their private insurance, but they are starting to agree and hope for the fact that people are coming on. So my point as a Mexican citizen that I want to convey to you all is that here in Mexico we have something similar to a public option, and to put it bluntly, it's a mess. So everybody here who works is entitled to a sort of a public health system, but rich people do not use it. Like people in the government and rich people do not actually use it. And so that makes that the public option, that the public system that we have is terribly underfunded. Like, those are in really poor state, some of them. They are really understaffed. We have really bad conditions in some of them, even though the healthcare overall is good. But what happens here is that the rich people and the racist people, that they don't want to wait in line for the regular checkups, even though if you have an actual emergency, you can see it right away. And the racist people who don't want to get treated alongside brown people and poor people, they don't go for that. They pay their super, super expensive private options, private plans, which are absolutely terrible. They don't work at all. There is no benefit at all for them. You pay a lot of money and you get the ability to go to private funded hospitals. Because what happens here in Mexico is that the government, with the funds that are taken from everybody's taxes in order to fund the public plan, we have publicly built and publicly managed and publicly owned hospitals, which are part of the public plan that everybody has if you're a worker.
Wow.
So I just wanted to tell you that this is a very good talking point that you maybe look up into, all of you Bernie Sanders supporters and Chelsea supporters. So not to fall in the trap that Pete Buttigieg is putting on, and that to an extent Elizabeth Warren is probably going to go to as well. Because the public options, if you look at the Mexican model, it doesn't work. It actually makes things worse. This is something that Mike Figueroa has been talking about, but I think it's more efficient if you put it in a concrete example, and if you take a Marco reference. I don't know if you get me.
Well, brother, thank you so much for calling up all the way from Mexico, man, and giving us the benefit of your experience there in your country, where the system is different than what we currently have, man. And yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Wow, interesting, guys. Let's keep going. 661, trying to get in as many people as possible. You're live, 661. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hi, Tim. This is Jason from Los Angeles. I'll keep it short and sweet for you. I appreciate all you're doing. So I just wanted to reiterate some of the previous callers and encourage everybody to run for office if you can, because Bernie can't do it alone. And we can't have a repeat of 2016 happen again. And you are the person that needs to be in that office. You may think you're not qualified for the office, but look what we have with these qualified individuals. You are who we need. So that's all I wanted to say. Tim Black, I appreciate all you do. Thank you.
Thank you, Jason. Way to come in and just be real quick to the point, brief, but meaningful. I appreciate it, man. 267, you're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Oh, it was good, Tim. It's Phil. You can hear me?
I hear you, brother. What's up?
Oh, I had a lot of things, but I'm gonna keep it short since obviously you have a lot of people. I'm gonna keep it. Well, I'm gonna address two things real quick with the ADOS thing.
Yeah.
To me, as someone who's I'm for reparations, but people are making a big deal out of it. I don't think it's a big conspiracy. I don't think they represent the majority of black people. I think it's just a genuine movement. It's, they got to work on some things, obviously, but I think we should just let them debate it out. And as far as how they would push it in the policy or what politicians they would want, whatever. But I don't think it's some, Russian bots behind it and all that. I think that's a little over the top. And I say this as a person, I am actually ADOS. But I was going to say, with the whole Tulsi thing, I think everybody needs to calm down because they literally met before Bernie even announced. So I think it's pretty obvious that she's probably going to be in his administration. It's just a matter of what position. So I'm pretty sure it's going to be between like VP and Secretary of State. So you may get like Nina Turner or Liz as VP, and then Tulsi as Secretary of State, or you might get Tulsi as VP, and then maybe Howie Hawkins or Jill Stein as Secretary of State. I would be fine with personally, but I think everybody needs to just calm down with the. Don't get me wrong, Tulsi has her flaws. I get it. She panders to conservatives with her framing sometimes. I do think in the general that would kind of help though, because she just gets a little bit different, slightly different people than Bernie gets. Because Bernie, we know he has the best coalition. He gets independents, conservatives. He has people in West Virginia clamoring for him. He destroyed Hillary in West Virginia. States like Kentucky, we got Andy Beshear, a Democrat, tied for the Republican for governor. You got a progressive running against Mitch McConnell. So donate to them if you can. Like I said, Andy Beshear is you can literally turn Kentucky blue if y'all donate. But like I said, he's tied with the Republican governor. So he goes Tuesday. If y'all donate or phone bank on a day or two, you literally could swing the election to the Democrats. So Andy Beshear, donate to him. But yeah, Tim, I just wanted to comment on that because I think Bernie, I say this as a Bernie bro. Y'all know I'm a Bernie bro. Clearly it's the Warren thing I feel like is BS. We know she's second best. She's not. It's clear. It's not even debatable. They literally talk about her like she has all the plans when Bernie literally wrote the bill that addresses everything they say. When they talk about unions fighting for wages, this, that, the third, if you read the bill, there's literally a clause in it that says unions that fought for health care benefits that, was in sacrifice of wages, they can negotiate that. Like it literally says it in the bill. So even Anna Kasparian, someone who I don't agree with all the time, points out, even, all these journalists, obviously, me, you, Kyle, Nico, House, we get it, but just the general people, like even some people that are in theory Democrats and everything, they're just giving into the conservative talking points on the Hill, like Pete Buttigieg people, obviously. But I think with the Tulsi thing, I think because she's clearly the most loyal to Bernie, she literally gave up her DNC queen, next in line type of thing, the kind of conservative but kind of progressive person from Hawaii, the veteran, she gave that all up to support him. So, I mean, Liz is quote unquote Native American and didn't even support people at Standing Rock, and so I think and like I said, I went to one. Like I said, I'm from Philly. I went to one, or I think the most diverse liberal arts college in the country. Like when I was in my 20s. So I get it. I went to school with a lot of these like progressives and versus elites and liberals and SJWs. I went to school with a mix of all of them. Literally, like 28,000 kids in my school. So I get it.
All right.
But it's Bernie. Like I don't care. Even my friends that make over 100K and all that great stuff, they're voting for Bernie. It's not. It's not unless you make over 500K or something. It's not really a question.
Hey, look, man.
If you're a millionaire, you want to keep your taxes. I get it. But
I
other
hear
than
you.
that, it's Bernie.
I hear you, man. Thank you for the phone call, man. I appreciate it. Wow. 516, you're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hello?
Yeah, you're live.
It's Amaga.
Hey.
Sorry, I didn't know I'd make it. My name is Amaga. I'm a pharmacist here, and I'm in Orlando. I work for Walgreens, Fortune 500 company. So I've also worked for Medicare Part D. I have been a prior authorization pharmacist. I have denied cancer patients their medication. I know what the inside of the healthcare system looks like. So when I read that thing she calls a plan, basically she's spitting out a bunch of numbers to confuse people. Warren is a wolf in sheep's clothing. She is not a progressive. She is nowhere in her bill says single payer. She never addresses the role of private insurance. She never addresses the cost of out-of-pocket payments. She says that the cost will go to practically zero. she doesn't actually give you real details that you need. So that's something that I want to talk about with healthcare. I know the rising cost of healthcare for seniors, it's really for everybody. You know, a medication as basic as hydrocortisone will be like $200. And it's because the price fixing. And I mean, I try to tell my patients every day about Medicare for All and about the solutions that Bernie is coming up with, but I'm on a recorded line and I'm not trying to lose my job. So I know that most of my coworkers, my pharmacy technicians that make like $12 an hour, I'm trying to educate them about the issues. I'm trying to get them involved in voting. So I'm trying to do my part, but I really love this show, Tim Black. You always keep it real, and I am excited about this this election. In 2016, I was nowhere near as into this. I didn't even vote in the primary because I got closed out because I was not registered as a Democrat. But this time I am, and I'm making phone calls, I'm volunteering, I'm donating, and I am so Bernie 2020. I'm so ready to ditch this disaster of a healthcare system. And I can't even imagine how we've let this go on this far. But that's my piece.
Wow. Thank you so much for calling up and giving us the benefit of your expertise and what you of the industry and what you know about healthcare and where we are. I appreciate you. It's so valuable. Please call in often and give us more of that big brain of yours. We need that. I tell you, subject matter experts calling up really helps do the heavy lifting. Thank you so much, sister. I appreciate you all the way from Orlando, Florida. 917, you're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name and what's your comment?
Hey, how's it going, brother Tim Black? Appreciate you taking my call today, man. I just wanted to say, hey, I appreciate the hard work you always do, man. You do such a great job on breaking down the issues, throwing some comedy in there. You know, it's a really great mix. I really appreciate what you're doing. Awesome job at Politicon, by the way, too, man.
Thank you.
But, hey, of course, brother. So, you know, I almost hung up with Brother Mark earlier preaching, you know what I mean? I'm like, how you follow that? But, you know, I totally, you know what I mean? But I really love that because he's absolutely right. This is a generational campaign, and Bernie understands it. We all understand it. You know, I feel very confident in, you know, overall, you know, I'm just, you know, making sure that we're paying attention to what's going on and we're educating people who may not actually know, but also doing it from a sense of like, hey, I honestly want to know what your positions are on the candidate that you pick. Hey, this is why I like Bernie. And, you know, not be so combative. People are so combative these days and you know, not genuinely trying to hear each other out. So I think we need a little bit more of that, But, you know, before I you know, drop off the line, I want to give a quick shout out to the younger hybrid Obama-Biden clone known as Beto O'Rourke, or known by Kyle Kalinske as Bet on My Stork, is dropping out. But I do appreciate him bringing up, you know, guns and, you know, taking the damn AK-47, you know, all of that good stuff. I appreciate him bringing that to the front stage. But, you know, since he dropped out, can Biden drop out? Because it's tactically the same thing, but older. And, you know, I'm tired of Obama. You know, I'm really upset with Obama recently, especially with him coming out with the whole woke culture thing. And, you know, he has that convenience to be able to say those things. But real people, they're struggling right now. You know what I mean? There's some people that can't even go to the doctor, like the young sister said before, denying cancer patients medicine. That is just horrific. You know, we might as well be taking people to the town square and beheading them if that's the case. Might as well be like Saudi Arabia. You know what I mean? But you know what, man? I'm about to head out of here. I appreciate you taking my call. I appreciate all the hard work you do. Keep up the great work, and I look forward to seeing you on Fox, brother.
You the man. Thank you so much for the phone call, man. I appreciate it. Wow. What a way to put it. You're right. 907. You're live. Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
It's the old lady, honey.
Hey, Laura.
I am going to really keep this short. I want everybody who has a public access radio in their local area to find out that number. And then I want you all to do what my granddaughter and I are about to do. We got all the 18-year-olds who are registered now to vote. We're making signs and us older people who don't have jobs, etc., we're going with them. And every Saturday, we're going with our signs and our petitions, and we're going with a copy of Bernie Sanders' bill for Medicare for All. And we're going to give everybody a card that has the number Bernie 2020 for his website, so they can go and read the entire thing themselves. But we're going just with Medicare for All because so many people are suffering. And we're going every Saturday. And we only have 24,000 people in this town and 40 miles of road. And by God, we're covering it. We're going to do it every Saturday until that first until he makes it to Iowa. And then after that, we're going to continue. And if everybody does this, because remember, he says not me, us. He needs us in the streets. So call your local radio station so they can cover this. Public access radio is ours. It's not mainstream. Mainstream media is gaslighting. Polls are gaslighting. So that way they have an excuse to say he didn't make it to the 50%. They can't say that if every damn state is now being broadcast by their local radios and heads are being counted and people are using Facebook Live and all the tools that you have in your hand to show the world that, hey, this is how many people have been showing up, this is how long we're doing it, and we're going to continue to commit to do this because it's us, not him. He'll be in the office on the inside, but we're on the outside. And if you don't do what we want us to do and get what we want, you think that Occupy Wall Street was fucking bad? Wait until 5 million of us show up in Washington and you don't got enough jails for any of us. And we ain't moving until we get what we want. And we're going to have a list of every one of you that's taken money from OpenSecrets.com. We got a list. And we're going to primary each and every one of you. So a smart plan here in my little tiny town, solutions that I think might just work if we all want to work for it. Because there are countries right now, 7 of them, that are protesting, putting their lives on the line. Chile, everywhere. They're fighting for what they need. The same basic needs we need, they need, and they're literally out in millions. So it's us. It's not him, it's us. We want it. We got to go get it. Love you all. Do whatever you can. Get creative, but get public access radio in on it. Anyway, love you guys. Love you, Tim. You did a great job. Everybody, God bless. However, whatever God you pray to, take good care of each other. Love each other, but get active. Stay active and get loud.
Thank you, Laura.
That's from that word.
I appreciate
you guys. We did it in the 60s. You can do it now.
All right.
Good night, all.
Good night, Laura. Thank you for calling up and making the show amazing at the end. This is great, guys. I appreciate you all. Look, guys, that is everyone. I'm happy for small things, and it maybe seem like a small thing to you guys, but on Freedom Friday, my goal is to clear the queue. I facilitate and try to make sure we get everybody. And I feel good when I know that people who have waited online will have the opportunity to voice their opinion, if only for a few minutes. We reach a lot of people, and it's really important. So thank you guys for calling up tonight. Thank you for being a part of this. It's a big time for me. And we had a lot of great calls tonight. You guys really got after it. Now I'm going to read Super Chat. So, guys, go ahead and send a donation in. Let me read your comments live so everybody can get it. Let me jump to that as quickly as possible. That way, hopefully that can be included in this broadcast, which only spreads the word about whatever you Super Chatted about. Cheryl Tyler says that Bernie's surging. Time for him to drop. Bernie's surging. Time for him to drop out. I don't know what that means. Bernie's surging. Time for him to drop out. I don't know what that means, Cheryl. Time for Beto to drop out. Maybe that's what she meant. Vegan Fever says there is only one true progressive, Bernie. Nobody even comes close, certainly not Warren nor Biden. Bibby said, hey, what's up, Bibby? How you doing, sister? Good to see you. Bethlehem said Nina was explaining on the Breakfast Club just a couple days ago, how Bernie's helping black people with his policies. Check it out. I'm going to do a video with that. I'm also going to invite Nina back on the show. I was a little sour because I saw him on the Breakfast Club like, Nina, you're supposed to come over here on the Tim Black Show. So I'll reach out to Nina again. Kush says 99% of establishment media and news are cowards. If Trump was an actual tyrant, they would never speak against him like they do now. They'd be too scared. Asama Kasim says, Tim, don't forget to mention Max Blumenthal getting arrested. Well, you just did it for me, brother. So thank you for mentioning Max. You know, Max from the gray zone. Max, our Max. Our Max. It's serious out here, guys. People... Beefo said, hey, Tim, I thought about changing my name to Beef Johnson, but it may sound too kinky. Wife will start spying on who I super chat with late at night. Extropian, thank you for the donation, Extropian. A Mayor says, we need progressives to sign up as poll workers. I hear that. Poll workers. We need poll workers, and we need everybody to go make sure that if their primary is closed, that they register so that they can vote in the primary. A-Mayor has also said, I aspire to inspire the masses like Mama Alaska. I love it. Dwayne, thank you for joining us, Dwayne. He just became a new member of the Tim Black Wolfpack. What's up, Dwayne? Sean Graham says, saluting you and the Wolfpack. Well, saluting you back, Sean. You my brother, man. Thank you so much for everything,
using Blog Talk Radio.
They stock
Goodbye.
a lot of white out in polling stations. Oh, they stock a lot of white out. I tell you, man. I tell you guys. We got a new member. Dwayne Brambo is a new member of the Wolfpack. What's up, Dwayne? How you doing? Thank you for joining, Johnson. We're glad to have you. And then A-Man's dropped us another super chat. Man, we had some great people, man. We had a great show tonight. Remember, guys, don't argue with people tonight or over the weekend about their political affiliations. You don't change people's opinions by arguing with them. That's what the Hillbots do. No. You sprinkle some facts on them and you get out of there. You tell them, hey, you heard Obama saying he was calling out the woke culture? What's he want us to do? Go back to sleep and let him get away with giving Wall Street all the money and letting Main Street sleep on the street? All right, I'll talk to you later, man. And just leave it like that, because what did we say? A man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. You ain't changing nobody's mind by making them feel small and making them feel dumb. That's not how it's done. It's sharing information is something that they care about. What else, guys? Oh, remember, don't let nobody take your cornbread. Whatever matters to you, like your privacy, your integrity. These things matter, so we must stand up, because if you don't stand up, you're agreeing with it. So that's why you got to stand up, guys, because that's who we are. That's what you are inside. All right, so don't let nobody take your cornbread. That's one of my catchphrases. It's been around since 2015. It ain't going nowhere, guys. Use it. Keep your cornbread. All right, Johnson, I love you guys. I want you to subscribe to this channel. Also become members of the Tim Black Wolfpack. Make sure you click the bell and say all notifications. People have been hitting me up saying, Tim, I don't get any notifications. All I can tell you is click the bell, and if that doesn't work, unsubscribe and resubscribe and click that bell. Don't forget to go to timblacktv.com. Thanks to my friends. And I don't know if my friend wants me to tell people about the website, but well, my website is has been redesigned. It's much better than it was before. Please go to my website. Soon there's going to be a community portion within my website that was made for you guys. So don't forget, in the interim, go to my Facebook page. This is Tim Black Speak On It group. sign up for that. Tim Black speak on the group. Joy is there and Buck are there. They are the moderators and the admins of the group. Shout out to my moderators here in my chat on Facebook and on YouTube. You guys are great. Thank you so much, Roseanne Matarama, my man Dave from Stone Mountain, Eli. What's up, man, Eli? Guys, I've been running and rushing. I forget things sometimes, but it's not out of disrespect. It's because I got so many things in my head I want to get out. But thank you so much, my friends. All of you, I got nothing but love for you. Remember, love somebody, hug somebody. Mend a fence. Maybe you need to mend your literal fence, but go out and mend a fence. That's a bridge or a problem or an issue that you've had with a friend in the past. Some of you are still holding on to grudges of things you don't remember why you're upset. Go mend that fence, guys. Come on now. Come on, let's do that. Let's mend our fences. And it takes a lot of effort to hold a grudge. Okay, I think that's all I got, man. I love you guys. One last sweep. I think everybody came through. Mama Alaska. David Massell says, our revolution, our streets. I love it. Mama Alaska, stop giving money, Mama Alaska. Laura, no, not you. You need to keep your money and take care of yourself. Folks, the show will go on. I don't want anybody doing anything that hurts them, okay? Let other people pick up the slack. If you are hurt and your pockets are thin, I know what it's like. Do not feel obligated. I don't want to hurt my friends. I know my audience. I don't have rich people in my audience, okay? I know that. Let's not ever do anything. I don't want you to suffer trying to help the show, okay? So only give it to the show if you can, all right? All right. Thank you, everybody who called up tonight, all right? I love you. I'll see you soon. More information to come about my Fox appearance and my Rising appearance with Crystal Ball and Sagar. It's going to be great. I'll see you guys soon. Till then, peace. Oh, look, guys, Facebook. I'm getting a message on Facebook saying, come back or something. It's not working for me on Facebook. I know people said Facebook was working, but I haven't been able to get it to work on my end. So if it's live on Facebook, that's great. I can't see it. I can't see it to call it out or to shout people out, guys. But if you're there, thank you for being there. That's all I can tell you, because it won't show up for me. Yeah, it's not showing up for me, guys. Maybe it's on my Speak On It group. I don't know. On my personal face. I got two Facebooks. Either way, I love you guys. I'll see you soon. Yeah, I'm not getting it. I don't know. All right. Until we meet again, guys, don't forget to go to the YouTube channel, watch a video. If you can't get to the show, watch 5 videos. I don't know. Watch 10 videos. I don't know. Tell a friend. I'll see you soon. Peace, Johnson. popular demand, Johnson is here. I have new Johnson designs in my shop. If you want to pick them up, check them out. They are hilarious, they are revolutionary, and they're all Johnson. You're going to love them, man. Check them out. Both parties suck, Johnson. It's one of my favorites. Independent media only, Johnson. Keep it real. We are all Johnson. We are. We're one big community, guys. Go check it out. Independent media only. Johnson's in the house. Both parties suck, Johnson. We are here. They got a special going on right now. Free shipping. Get it today. Wolfpack.